Accio, 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 Accio. Alohomora, 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 Alohomora. Arresto momentum, Arresto momentum, Arresto momentum, Arresto momentum, Arresto momentum. Depulso, 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 Depulso. Expelliarmus, 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 Expelliarmus. Expulso, Expulso, Expulso. Flipendo, Flipendo, Flipendo. Glacius, 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 Glacius. Incendio, 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 Incendio. Levioso, 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 Levioso. Protego, Protego, Protego. Reparo, Reparo, Reparo. Stupefy, 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 Stupefy. Lumos, Lumos, Lumos. Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio, 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 Revelio. Finite, Finite, Finite. Imperio, 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 Imperio. Defendo, 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 Defendo. Reducto, 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 Reducto. Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra. Confringo, 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 Confringo. Petrificus Totalis, Petrificus Totalis, Petrificus Totalis, Petrificus Totalis. Evanesco, 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 Evanesco. Descendo, 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 Descendo. Bombarda, Bombarda, Bombarda. Crucio, Crucio, Crucio. Accio, Accio, Accio. Alohomora, Alohomora, Alohomora. Arresto momentum, Arresto momentum, Arresto momentum, Arresto momentum. Depulso, 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 Depulso. Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. Expulso, Expulso. Flipendo, Flipendo, Flipendo. Glacius, Glacius, Glacius. Incendio, 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 Incendio. Levioso, Levioso, Levioso. Protego, 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 Protego. Reparo, Reparo, Reparo. Stupefy, 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 Stupefy. Lumos, 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 Lumos. Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio, Revelio, Revelio. Finite, 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 Finite. Imperio, 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 Imperio. Defendo, 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 Defendo. Reducto, 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 Reducto. Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra. Confringo, 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 Confringo. Petrificus Totalis, Petrificus Totalis, Petrificus Totalis. Evanesco, 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 Evanesco. Descendo, 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 Descendo. Bombarda, Bombarda, Bombarda. Crucio, 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 Crucio. Hello again, Adelaide. Any word of your uncle? I take it you and your uncle are close. How can you be kidnapped when you're right here? I could look into the matter for you. Sir, are you all right? You seem to be in some distress. What was it you needed, Mr. Pratt? I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists. Calm down, I'm here now. What if I took you to the Hog's Head instead? I've heard such nice things. Let's get out of here then, shall we? Excuse me, sir, are you all right? Why are there so many spiders in Arranshire all of a sudden? Why didn't you ask the Ministry for help? Mr. Dunn, about the spider problem in Arranshire. Mr. Dunn, I have some news. Sir, do you think the culprit who stole your family wand may have taken it to the owlery? I'd like to ask you about changing the room's ambiance. I would like the room to feel as if it's being lit by the moon. I'd like the room to feel natural and earthy, as though I'm outdoors. I'd like the room to be warm and comfortable, as if I'm floating inside a mug of butterbeer. Actually, perhaps another time. I'd like the room to feel mysterious and eerie, as if I'm in the Forbidden Forest, surrounded by shadows. Where did you want me to go? Anne, are you certain you can't make do with one frame? You're quite an obnoxious chap, aren't you? There's no need to get your pantaloons in a twist. I apologise, I didn't mean to offend you. Well, I've done it, Penny. The shop is mine. I'm glad you're here to help me. Well then, let's get to it. Hello, Madam Mason? I understand you have a shop to sell. Perhaps. It depends upon your terms. Yes, I am. I've always wanted to own a shop. Madam Mason, about the shop. The shop seems to be in an ideal location. Why has no one purchased it yet? What precisely do you mean, should my efforts fail? I've decided I'd like to go ahead and purchase the shop. Were you worried I might not return? Thank you, Penny. I think I'm going to need to talk to the authorities. I must say, I enjoy a good challenge. I wouldn't call it fun, really. So, about that contract. Just to be clear, what does this agreement entail? Specifically, why would you enter into such an agreement? Even with your help, I'm not certain it would be worth it. Shopkeeping has never really appealed to me. Oh, it would be wonderful to have a place to sell things and someone to help me. All right, I shall go and find Madam Mason. What kind of things would I be able to sell in the shop? It's my pleasure. You deserve it. I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you. One more thing, Penny. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dunn. She was an innocent victim. It seems poor Mary was breeding spiders in her home for profit and vastly underestimated their propensity to multiply. I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade. There's an Ollivanders in Hogsmeade. Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs. That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once. Professor, what should I be doing again? I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you? Are you in some sort of trouble? Yes, I have some right here. Please, take it. And be careful. I'm afraid not. I'd help you if I could, but I don't actually have anything with me. You should be able to take care of yourself. I'm not giving you anything. Still looking for that Thunderbrew? That sounds straightforward enough. You're making this sound simple, but this is a dragon after all. Thank you, but I've been holding my own. Yes. Yes, Ravenclaw is correct. Yes. Yes. I believe that Gryffindor is a better fit for me. I'm certain that Ravenclaw is the house for me. Hufflepuff would be a better fit for me. I'm certain that I belong in Slytherin House. Nice to meet you as well, Professor. Thank you, Professor Weasley. Thank you, Professor Weasley. Thank you, Professor Weasley. Thank you, Professor Weasley. If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg? What about this helmet makes it so special? Do your parents know about the things you do now? Saving the dragon from the fighting ring, for instance. Merlin, I don't know what to say, Poppy. I can't imagine what that must have been like for you. Amit and I can do this. What else should we know about the enchanted door? What are Amit and I to do again? Drills, Lodgok. They're building enormous drills. If you're right about this place, then we should make our way there. Do they always talk to you like that? Don't forget why I'm here, sir. Lodgok, what should we do about the helmet thieves? The moths match the shapes I saw on the door. Finky, isn't it? I know I came in here for something. What was it? I can take the crest to Marmaduke's sarcophagus for you. Why was Marmaduke's tomb cursed? Hello, Mr. Dibble. I had a few more questions if you don't mind. Could you give me a bit more detail about the note that might help me to identify it should I come across it? I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him? Mrs. Rabe, I have a few more questions if you don't mind. Mr. Filbert, I have your book. I'm glad to have been of help. What does your mother think about all of this? Hello, Mrs. Rabe. How is Mr. Rabe doing? He's lucky I found him in time. So what is it you've been looking for? Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me. How do I know you won't go to the librarian and blame this all on me? You told me the librarian would be gone by now. Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this? You distract, I get the key. Understood. Only because of you. How are you feeling? What on earth possessed you to do something like that? Thank you, Professor Heckert. Glad to have the opportunity to practice. Can't say no to that. What did you have in mind? Kagawa seems strict. I wouldn't want to get into trouble. How do you know it's safe? I don't want my feet to turn into beets as well. Sebastian, honestly, she was a bit intimidating. You've intrigued me. Very well, lead the way. I'm not sure. What's this all about? How awful. I can see why you're upset. He definitely needs some help. If I'm honest, I'd say he had it coming. Sir, where are we going? Is the headless hunt dangerous? What am I supposed to do when we meet the hunt? Hello, Natty. How are you? I'm happy to tell you that I returned the crest to Marmaduke's sarcophagus, just as you asked. Just a measly old troll, nothing significant. Well, there was a troll in the tomb. Hello, sir. I'm looking for... Yes, About time. Yes. That's the one for me. How do I remove the demiguise statues? I have a few questions about the demiguise statues. You're hurt. I'd like to go with Sebastian. I'd like to go with Natty. It does sound intriguing, but I need to consider my finances first. I'll come and find you if I'm interested. But what about curfew? Hello, Mr. Moon. I have the moons you asked me to collect. I have nothing more to ask. Wonderful. I can only imagine what we might find in there. Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm. A sarcophagus. This must be Marmaduke. Should have known a herbologist would use devil's snare. Well, Marmaduke certainly left behind more than plants. Yes, I rather enjoyed seeking him out. Why didn't you tell us it was just his skull? Poor Tobbs. Left here alone with the spiders. I'm sorry to tell you this, Deke, but Tobbs is gone. It seems he was unable to avoid the spiders in the end. Did you say... tickle the pear? What seems to be the problem? Still in the market for an invisibility potion? I'm afraid I'm all out of invisibility potion. I suggest finding somewhere safe and being especially careful. Well, as it happens, I have what you need. Here. Not sure it'll help you, though. Be careful, won't you? The Grim if you saw one, is an omen. Omens don't attack you, so I doubt an invisibility potion will do you much good. What is it? What's wrong? Goblins got you yet? Or did you find some Maxima potion? I don't have any of that. Perhaps you could try in Hogsmeade, or one of the hamlets. You're right, the world's not safe at the moment. It's best to take precautions. Here, use it wisely. If you can't defend yourself, you'd be better off staying out of their way. I'm not giving you charity. Everything all right? Not dead from that spider attack yet. I was sure I had some, but it seems not. Afraid I'm not able to help. Good luck with the, spiders. Spiders do tend to appear in ruins. Here, I have enough to spare. Stay away from the ruins, though. You seem perfectly fine. Not a scratch. You don't need any Wiggenweld potion. Officer Singer, I have some information you might be interested in. Cassandra Mason sold me her shop and then tried to drive me mad in a haunted dungeon. If that's what I need to do to speak to Jackdaw, I'll do it. Why are you using Jackdaw's head for this game? How did you happen to become a member of the Headless Hunt? Hello, Penny. I had some questions about the shop. What kinds of things would I be able to sell in the shop? Why are the premises in such disarray? It seems this may help us both. I shall do it. I'd like to have those pages if you don't mind. I think I can guess how you died, but who did it to you? Samantha, is everything all right? I brewed an Edurus potion, as you asked, Professor. Not much for the cold, are you? That sounds a bit mysterious. I'm getting used to things. What about you? Do you finally feel settled? I believe you. I'll keep that in mind, Natty. Thank you. Actually, why not? I can beat your record. Oh, I actually don't have time for this right now. Perhaps another day. Still up for that broom contest? I'm ready to fly. Now's not the best time. I'll see if I can come back later. We'll soon see how I fare, won't we? I'm ready. Not just yet. Perhaps later. I'll come back when I'm feeling up to it. We're still on for the trial, aren't we? Glad I could be of service. So how did you manage to get on the librarian's bad side? Oh, is your sister in Slytherin too? But you can see them. A little. It's positively enormous. Oh, any you'd like to share with the class? Has she? That's nice to hear. Pardon me, Professor. What am I supposed to do with the Dittany seeds? I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck. Is there anything special about the wand? Why would the thief have taken the wand? What will I find in the cave? Did someone in the cave cut off your head? Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Afpuddle. Well, my feet didn't turn into beads. That's a good start. That should reverse the curse. Hopefully. Professor! Shall we? I think I'd like to look around a bit first. From the outside, you'd never guess this place even existed in here. I believe I am. Not quite yet. Just a few more minutes. Really? Well, thank you, I think. Poppy, where are you taking me? What's going on? Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me? It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class. It was all right. But honestly, I find the beast's unpredictability unnerving. Why would you steal Mr. Ollivander's family wand? How could a few pages of a book help her solve an old case? Can you tell me more about your great niece? When were you the Minister for Magic? Can you tell me more about Apollonia Black? I'd like to know more about Anne. I found the book that you said would exonerate you. Actually, I think I have enough information. Thank you. Another shopkeeper. St. Mungo's. I think you should explain, Penny. You wouldn't know it by how many I've killed lately, but honestly, I'm terrified of spiders. Spiders don't bother me at all. You'd be impressed by how many I've dispatched lately. Hello, Adelaide. How are you and your uncle doing? That's very kind of you, Emmett. Are you sure you won't need it? Oh, no need to convince me. Let's get going. All right. I suppose I can go with you. I hope it's worth it. And you need someone to help you find it. Ah. I had a feeling there would be a catch to that telescope. Thank you, Emmett. I look forward to reading them. Whatever you say, Emmett. Whatever you say. There you are. Welcome back. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I will be sure to speak with Deke if I need anything. Thank you. Can you tell me a bit more about Deke? Can you tell me where I might find Grimbled Weft? Where can I find that friendly knight you mentioned earlier? How did you injure your ear? Excuse me, Mr. Sallow. Thank you, Miriam. For everything. I have the telescope. It's nicer than I had expected. Hello, Ominous. Do you have a moment? Am I right in thinking you are unimpressed by divination? You mentioned astronomy tables earlier in class. What were you talking about? Let's just learn what we can and get out. Let's take a look around, Armeet. See if we can find any plans. I am indeed. Look at the size of this mine. Lodgok, where are you? This place is teeming with Ranrock's loyalists. I have to keep my wits about me. What came over Lodgok? Coming here alone. This cart ought to get me deeper into the mine. How deep will this take me, I wonder? That has to be the end up ahead, just like Gringotts. But I'm in the driver's seat this time. I'd better light these boilers if I want to go any further. Incendio should be enough to light these flames. I need to pull this platform closer. Better to get on one of those than try to jump across. Ugh! Oh! The smell! Oh, Merlin's beard, what's that smell? Nothing. No statues here. I'd best keep looking. Oh, I'll take that, thank you. Here's a welcome surprise. Oh, this will do nicely. Beats for feet! How hilarious! I mean, how terrible! Horrible! Truly. I'm so sorry. That sounds like a trying situation. Professor Weasley, you wanted to see me? These devices run on steam power. He does seem a bit cross with you. I'll speak with him. Astoria Cricket? Oh, dreadful looking place, isn't it? It's sealed. Merlin's beard. Oh, this is far more powerful than Stupefy. I have a feeling I'm not alone here. If I could power it somehow, it looks like it could be rotated. The witch's final resting place. Lodgok said the helmet was in her sarcophagus, a dead Ashwinder. Your compatriots must have made off with the helmet. Lodgok won't like this. Better show this to Lodgok. Yikes! Careful! Hello, Deek. This must be Tobbs' cave. I suppose I should head inside. Tobbs? Tobbs? Deek sent me. Are you in here? Tobbs' master is awful. It looks as if Tobbs was here some time ago. He must have headed deeper into the cave. That didn't sound particularly reassuring. What do you think? Right. So, back to your frame. They're even more aggressive than I'd expected. Surely that's the last of them. Oh no, this must be Mary. Poor woman. How can there be more? Arranshire won't be safe until they're all cleared out. I'd best be ready for whatever I may find down there. Can't let you harm Arranshire any more than you already have. This is definitely going to anger your parents. These eggs must be destroyed. Looks like that's all of them. I'll be having nightmares for the rest of my life after that. No, wait, that's the last one. And she's angry. I'm back from the cave, Deek. Can I use this type of transfiguration magic outside of the room? Of course. Traces of ancient magic. There must be more to this room. Whoa! I love magic! I'm back in the restricted section. I should find out how Sebastian fared with Peeves. That's it! Why is your mistress selling the shop? And you? Why are the premises in such disarray? How are you so good at selling? Seems unusual for a house elf. I have a knack for this sort of thing, if I do say so myself. If I can meet your terms, I hope that you'll sell to me. I am quite capable of owning a shop, I can assure you. I should think you'd be happy to have a buyer. For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet. An exceedingly fair price for a shop and an elf. What's the catch? From a distance. I don't suppose she'd listen to reason. I beg your pardon? There she is again. Oh, she isn't making it easy. Can't the curse be broken? Looks like everyone's gone. Better head to the common room. I suppose some introductions are in order. Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning? A small favour in exchange for getting those pages. I beg your pardon? Roast beef. Rotten roast beef. I'll admit I wasn't expecting him to be so angry. Surely he can't be that terrible. Can he? He truly is rather foul, isn't he? How lucky for us. What is it? Let's hurry. Yes, Professor. Pardon me, Mr. Sallow. How is that? What is this place? Where are we, Deek? Not powerful enough. Perhaps Depulso will do. You did what you had to do. I never thought I'd see the inside of Azkaban for myself. You said you divined a series of events before our paths crossed. What were they? What makes you so sure the symbol is where the Snidgets are? I hope Adelaide's Uncle Roland is all right. She seems very worried. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him. This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me. Professor, I completed all of your most recent assignments. I finished the tasks, Professor. I finished the activities you assigned me, Professor Garlick. Reporting back, Professor. Assignments all finished. I know we had to do it to open the scriptorium, but it's not something I'd want to repeat. It was hard to do. But casting Crucio was our only option. Yes, an unsuccessful shop would be bad for nearby businesses, I'd imagine. Your faith in me is overwhelming. You're sorely mistaken if you think I'm going to fail.
Greetings! I mean, Out of my way, children! You call that a shine on those boots? Do better! Chewing with your mouth open? Where are your manners? I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the ministry.
Well, yes, she said she did, but I think you missed the bit about the dungeon. I am perfectly capable of owning a shop. But more importantly, did you not hear the bit about the dungeon? Yes. What is it? I actually have some moons for you. Hello, Mr. Moon. Why did I need the toast to get in here? I hope that house elf can find us in here. It's my first time in Hogsmeade, actually. Oh, that's not Grimbled Weft. Interesting. But not Grimbled Weft. I don't suppose you have any idea where your stolen frame was taken. Can you see anything from it? Oh, no. I have a feeling that house elf is Tobbs. You do know he's screaming in the library as we speak.
Remind me of the password to my office. How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears. And now I'm telling you that you can tell me. Right. Of course. Certainly I remember. It's still stronger together, no? Of course I remember. It's the Black Family reigns. It's purebloods forever, isn't it? Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else. Whatever you wish, Scroop. It's your treasure.
Thank you, Natty. Thank you. Thank you very much. How does anyone other than a house elf manage to get around in here? All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what? Sebastian acted rashly, but he acted out of instinct to save Anne. Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne. Professor Weasley said I should ask you about changing the room's ambiance. I would like the room to feel as if it's being lit by the moon. I'd like the room to feel natural and earthy, as though I'm outdoors. I'd like the room to be warm and comfortable, as if I'm floating inside a mug of butterbeer. I'd like the room to feel mysterious and eerie, as if I'm in the Forbidden Forest, surrounded by shadows. You don't think the rumours about the cave are true, do you? Shall we take a closer look? I beg your pardon? Scrope? Who is Scrope? Pumpkins. Oh, I think I know just the place. I must insist that you give them to me at once. Or just raring for a fight. It's a little too warm if you ask me. I'm doing my best! No, it's not. It's the Hogshead. Hello, Deke. You'll be pleased to know that a little Thestral was born. Hello, Deke. You wanted to talk to me? I could just burn you and be done with it. I've completed all of my tasks, Professor Onai. Deke, could you remind me where I need to go to find the Phoenix? Let's get you back to the room. Deke's going to be pleased. Yes, Deke. And I rescued it from the poachers. I have it here. It's safe. Don't suppose you have any idea what could be waiting for me inside the tomb? Yes, sir. Toujours pure. I suppose I can do that. But why me? Lodcock, the sarcophagus has been raided. I found no helmet. Only a dead Ashwinder. I'll say. We'll see about that. Oh, these inferior, horrible... they're certainly persistent. Stay back! Perhaps Accio would help. I need to get that platform closer. But how? If only I could pull it to within reach. It's sealed shut from the other side. This is pointless. I need to go. I must unseal that door mechanism to escape. Intramuros. Hello. I'm here to help. I can take you somewhere safe. I know. Rather good at this, aren't you? You're not going to make this easy, are you? Nothing lucky about it.
Scrope! I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside. If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along. Places to be, Professor Sharp, places to be. Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't. When I witness what passes for magic in these halls, I simply mourn for the future of the wizarding world. Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours. I did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
The Phoenix! There was little time to react, but it was an unforgivable curse. I have been thinking about something Professor Howin said in Beasts class, that I should study as many beasts as I can, on my own time. But what is it? Excuse me, Professor. Could you remind me what my assignments were about? So far, so good. Troll! Nothing like an angry troll to bring friends together. I'll help you find the letter, Natty. Can't we just bypass Officer Singer and go directly to the Ministry? Natty, what's going on? Why are we all the way out here? Were you able to find the letter? Oh, it was exhilarating, wasn't it? I wasn't sure we were going to make it out alive. Thank you, Madame Thistlewood. I shall do my best. No one's been here for ages. No, that's not it. No. How did you do this, Jackdaw? It's no wonder Anne never found that clue. You'll not outfox me, Jackdaw. Oh, that's done something. Ah, I see how this goes. You couldn't outwit me, Jackdaw. Now, where's the clue you left behind? Oh, this isn't the one. This isn't quite right. Best keep searching. This must be the place Minister Diggory mentioned. Helen lives around here somewhere. Professor Sharp, could I ask you about my extra assignments? Professor, could you remind me of the purpose of the assignments you set for me? Please could you remind me the purpose of my tasks, Professor? Could you remind me of the reason for these extra assignments, Professor? I like to think I can be trusted, but I suppose we'll find out. What would you like me to do next, Professor? I do hope Sebastian's all right. It looks to be rather a mess. Why haven't other tenants been able to make a go of it there? You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible? I'm looking forward to it. You were a Gryffindor. This is the entrance. I can be quite resourceful. It looks stunning, Lodgok. I see why you wanted it back. It just looks like a helmet to me. Surely another spell could be used to mince daisy roots. Why learn this one? You have a new spell to teach me, Professor? Yes, sir, of course. That's rather generous, isn't it? She did try to kill us the entire time. Now to see what lies beyond. And now back to the face of stone and tendrils. I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne. Well, Thank you, Amit. Are you all right? Are you holding your breath? She did indeed. Madam Kugawa, about what happened in class. Wonderful! Shall I head directly to the shop? Wait a minute, brave. Perhaps this isn't a good idea. Oh, of course. And you're right. Shall I head directly to the shop then? Now that I've considered it further, I'd rather not purchase the shop at this time. What should I be doing right now? I'll have a look for you. You've certainly given me plenty to go on. I'll try my very best, Mr. Dunn. A ghost or a poltergeist? A non-being. Can never have been. Grata domum. I see good things. After all, the future's mine for the taking, and I shall take what I must. Why is it you can't conquer your fear of spiders? Hello? How are you? Why did your uncle want to keep you from Hogwarts this year? Your uncle sounds like a bit of a twit. I honestly don't know, Professor. Brilliant! This was his old telescope. Looks practically brand new. A blockade. Brookwood's poachers are already here. More poachers? How many are there? If Mary was breeding these things in her cellar, that means there are more underground. I'll need to destroy every last spider in that cellar if this is to end. The cellar gate looks to be locked. I'll need a key to enter. If this is where Mary bred the spiders, they're not here now. I hate to think that they see me, but I don't see them. Exacts. I need to find and destroy all of these before the situation gets even worse.
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going? Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away. Gareth! Mr. Weasley, what are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be? I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it. I've duelled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back. Where am I? Professor Fitzgerald, can you hear me? Hi, Wing. Understandable. But why don't you check on her yourself? I am sorry about your friend, but you'll be relieved to know that I cleared out the spiders. It's safe to return now. Well, this isn't a good sign. These spiders have gone somewhere. That's the spirit. I wish you the best of luck. Even so, you'll want to prepare yourself. The place needs something of a clean-up. Hi, Wing. Blast it! There's got to be another way to get up to the roof. Somewhere. There will be hardship, I'm sure of it, but I see triumph in the end. I can't get rid of this feeling of a coming danger. Greetings, Mr. Ollivander. I visited the Owlery as you suggested. It was, but I don't think either of us could have predicted where I'd end up. I met the ghost of Richard Jackdaw himself. He pointed me to the cave where he died, wand in hand. Password. Hello, Natty. How are you? I never thought magical plants could be so thrilling. I will say that herbology wasn't as much fun as charms. Thank you, Officer Singer. Thank you, Poppy. I'll be gentle. I don't know, but they don't look particularly appetizing to me. Natty, I have some questions. Natty, what do I need to do again? You seem to be very determined in stopping Rookwood and Harlow. Why? Challenge accepted then. I don't want respect from the likes of you. All you do is insult people. Ready when you are. Does this mean you've changed your mind about me? So what? You finally scared everyone else away? I did indeed find your family wand, but it was in pieces. Beyond repair. He didn't want you to identify him. Now, to find out what happened here. A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now, to find the crooked tree. A crooked tree, just as the map said. The crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here. And the crumbling tower. The spot on the map should be directly south of here.
Ah, yes! Mixed with bubo tuber pus makes a fine mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find. I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's. I hear you're getting quite good at those concoctions you brew. I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. On your way, Mr. Weasley. What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game. Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Please, go on. I'm ready to give it another go. Hello again, Imelda. This course is a bit far from the castle, isn't it? Those marks. They look like the ones over the door. I know just the spell to pull that free. Ah, then I'm glad to be rid of it myself. You are a fierce one. I don't think I can take much more of this. Well, that doesn't work.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
I received your owl. What happened with Ominous? Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have. Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one? Can you choose what form your animagus will take? How does it feel to transform into an animal? And you declined? Ready? I'm ready. You hear a voice. Hello, Imelda. Albie Weeks sent me. Perhaps I am competition. Seems someone's jealous of my skills on a broom. I don't know what people have said, but I certainly wasn't showing off. Perhaps I should use Protego. Why is your ancestor so well known? A troll? You can't be serious. I should think you'd be a bit weaker by now.
There is another matter, Scrope. I confiscated this filthy diary from a student. It smells of squid and seawater. Now, off with you!
Are all of the trials like this one? I wondered if you might teach me how to cast a curse that you mentioned. I'd like to learn how to cast the Cruciatus curse. I'd like to learn how to cast the Imperious curse. I'd like to learn how to cast the Killing curse. On second thought, perhaps I don't need to learn any curses at the moment. That's all I wanted to learn for now. Thank you. What was it like growing up in a family of poachers? I need your help, friend. How brave. I'm glad you escaped. Professor Hecat, I'm here about the new defensive spell you mentioned. I understand, Professor. I'll be sure to keep my guard up. I don't plan on holding back either. What in the... Who's there? It's time to move on, Deke. There's nothing to be done now. I'm truly sorry about your friend, Deke. From everything I've seen, you're doing precisely that. Poppy, you're only one person. You can't save them all. Sounds versatile, albeit a little dangerous. I suppose that's why it's so useful. Thank you, Professor. There's Ollivanders. I hope he can help me craft the Keeper's Wand. I know there's a mechanism to open this door. There must be some sort of mechanism for this doorway. They're never ending. I need to get out of here. This is brilliant. This'll take some getting used to. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Wish I had my own broom. It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on. This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free. How is it you're so good at selling? Seems unusual for a house elf. You should have told me the truth and punished yourself as necessary. I need to go and find Officer Singer. Sibling rivalry. Sounds as if it might run in the family. I was impressed that you were able to answer Professor Sharp's question about the Wiggenweld potion.
I heard that, and I assure you that it's none of your concern. Make way for me! Move aside, students! Hello! I mean, stand aside!
Hogwarts won't be the same without him. Of course. I certainly would be. Hello, Amit. It's nice to meet you. Indeed he was. Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir. Oh, hello, Amit. Nice to see you again. Sounds like a good idea. Good luck, Adelaide. It was nice to meet you. Don't worry, Mrs. Rabe. I can take care of myself. Mr. Abe's wand must be nearby if he can sense it from his cell. If Natty couldn't summon Mr. Abe's wand from her cell, it must be blocked by something. I'd better be sure I'm not seen. Mr. Abe, I found your wand. Well, that's not very hospitable. I wonder if there are more of these. Don't really have time for tea. No time to stop and smell the... whatever these are. I thought I sensed a pattern here. That wasn't too difficult. One more down. Shame I didn't bring a broom. I wish I could say the same. I could do with a bit more light. At least someone feels lucky. Now this looks familiar. I should search for a way out. Must you continue spinning things? Ugh. Just when I was getting my bearings. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, that was doubly something. I'll need to remember my tracks. Ah! Stop that! Ah! Thank goodness. Ugh. When I said I wanted to look around, I didn't mean this. I'm conserving my energy. I'm glad you're having fun. Well, I'd say it was a pleasure, but do not joke about that. Surely that's the last of those. Unless there's a book here about how to escape a haunted dungeon, I've no time for light reading. Don't suppose you can recommend a tome on how to handle a poltergeist? Now that was just mean. Indeed. Shouldn't a host entertain his guest? Bats. Lovely. Wonder what's down there. Actually, I don't think I want to know. I'll meet. Where did you say that telescope was? I actually have to be off, but it was nice talking to you. What can you tell me about your shop? Can you tell me more about yourself? Impressive labyrinth. I wonder what's at the center. In my experience, skeletons are never a good sign. I wonder what happened to them. Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere. Mrs. Rabe should be nearby. Hello again, Mr. Cromwell. Hello, sir. Might you have some time to talk? What can you tell me about your shop? I'd like to learn a bit about you, sir, if you don't mind. I'd like to ask you a bit about Maranweem, if you don't mind. Have you heard rumors about dark witches or wizards lurking nearby? Any notable places I should look at while I'm here? Professor Sharp didn't seem as impressed as you are. I'm glad I was able to get it right the first time. Thank you. I don't need any more of your time. Mr. Adley, do you have a moment? I'd like to know more about you, Mr. Adley. Did you know Mary Portman, the spider breeder? Pardon me, madam. Do you have a moment? Have you heard any rumours about goings-on in Bainborough? Are you the shopkeeper here? What do you have for sale? Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Any whispers going about the town? Can you tell me a bit about yourself? What do you have for sale? You don't create anything worthwhile without setting a few things on fire. If you're setting things on fire, then perhaps you ought to rethink your choices. Ominous cares. So much so that he told me to use Imperio on him. The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic. Hello, Mr. Semi. Hello again, Agnes. Any interesting chatter going around the town? At least now we know we're not alone in here. Surrounded by grandeur. Nice. He doesn't want to fight you, and he can't stand by and let you leave with the relic. I said I'd take responsibility. I need you to teach me the curse. Ominous has agreed that it's the only way, Sebastian. Will the curse hurt him? How much did you hear? Sebastian's done his research. He knows what he's doing. And if nothing will change his mind, let's keep going. Hello. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. I'm curious to know what's happening in Feldcroft. Might you have any insight? What do you sell here? What brought you to own a shop in Feldcroft? Excuse me, Madam Navarro. How are you? How do you collect the items you sell? Have you lived in Crabcroft all your life? I hear a dugbog near here has been acting strangely. Have you ever seen it? What is it you sell, Madam Navarro? Hello. Nice to meet you. Hello. Nice to see you again. What sort of products do you sell? How long have you been living here in Irondale? I hear there's a goblin mine near here. Have you ever seen it? The Inferi. They're everywhere. These Inferi seem far from controlled. How many Inferi are there? Why wouldn't you stop? I was calling after you. Confringo! You were going to help me. They're gone. For now. I need to get out of here. Where could Neve be? Closed tight. No way but forward, I suppose. Now's my chance. I need to time this just right. I need to turn back. There's no getting past them that way. This is the way forward. Finally free. Now, where are you, Neve? What is it? Thank you, Gareth. So am I. Are you related to Professor Weasley? Must be nice having an aunt for a professor. You must be able to get away with anything. Hello, Lenora. What are you looking at? Have you gained any insights about the painting since you've been studying it? I found the location depicted in the painting, and then I cast Lumos to guide a moth back to the frame. I'm afraid I can't tell you, Lenora. Were you calling me, Gareth? A one-eyed witch statue shouldn't be too hard to find. It worked. Goodness. Who knew this was all down here? This looks like the right statue. Now what was the password? I'm going to have to get past this. What in Merlin's name is this? Oh, it looks a bit broken. Perhaps I can try... I think I could break through this. This must be the way out. Honeydukes. I can smell the chocolate. Now, where would I find the dried billywig stings for Gareth? He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion. I suspect that's where I come in. Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted. That was an interesting class. Professor Ronan did mention something about that. You have a new spell to teach me, Professor. I completed the assignments, Professor. Professor, why must I complete these tasks? For now, not a chance. I suppose I'm not allowed up there. Seems that's off limits to me. I can't go up there. It appears I won't be going up there. It's true, and I was almost killed. Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives. Yes, our carriage was attacked by a dragon. I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor. Professor, could you remind me what I'm to do before I can learn Incendio? I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat. Does having your aunt here make things difficult? Hello, Duncan. I have the proof you wanted. Now that I think about it, Puffskein Dunkeen, I think I shall keep this. You need to overcome your cowardice. Of course. I hope this helps you prove yourself. You wanted to speak with me? Can you remind me of our arrangement? Very well. If I'm in the area, perhaps I shall take a look. What are you doing out here? I'm in. Let's do it. Perhaps another time. I'm game for another round. Another time, perhaps. Hello, Samantha. Are you here for Summoner's Court? Yes, I'm ready to play. Perhaps another time. More like you underestimated me. That was your mistake. Don't say that, Samantha. You're a fine player. But of course, perhaps another time. Hello? Are you my next Summoner's Court opponent? Pleased to meet you, Grace. I'm game. Perhaps I'll play later. You played a good game, though, Grace. There wasn't much to it. Let's have at. Perhaps another time. Hello? Are you here for Summoner's Court? Of course, Charlotte. Not at the moment, I'm afraid. I play by intuition. Natural skill and all that. I practice as much as I can. Absolutely. Don't count me out yet. Perhaps another time. Natty. I hope I haven't kept you waiting long. I've been looking forward to it. Hello, Sebastian. Really? I'm not going anywhere with you. Tell Rookwood to find me himself. This can't be the witch's tomb. Likely I need to go further. You're my Summoner's Court opponent, Professor Ronan. I'm ready. Perhaps another time, Professor. I suppose there's not much left you can teach me now. I would. I'd like a chance to improve my record. Not at the moment. What is the reason for these additional assignments, Professor? I've completed my assignments, Professor. I completed your assignments, Professor. Could you remind me about the reason for the assignments you gave me, Professor? I completed your assignment, Professor. I'm ready to learn Bombarda now. What was the purpose of these assignments again, Professor? Madam Kogawa? I completed the list of tasks you assigned. It is. I haven't left the castle since I arrived. As am I. Thank you, by the way. Merlin. Of the legend of King Arthur. This trunk. What should I do now? I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here. Descendium. First, let me thank you for what you did in the library. It's well disguised. I think I've got it. Oh, hello. Ominous, isn't it? I believe we have potions together. And herbology? Actually, Sebastian brought me there. But he made it perfectly clear to keep quiet about it. You wanted to speak with me, Professor? Let's get you back to your frame, little moth. The moth stopped. Perhaps I need to keep casting Lumos on it. Ashwinders. Lenora, I solved the mystery of that painting. Ha! I knew there was a connection. I should tell Lenora that I solved the puzzle of that empty frame. A moth. That frame was decorated with moths. I wonder if this one belongs there. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Was that your cat? I'm sorry to hear that. I think magical beasts are rather incredible. Your mother's right. Magical beasts are more trouble than they're worth. I'm sorry, Professor. I was merely trying to help a friend. Yes? But why does that matter to you? I'll get you the Fwooper feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it. Strange to think one could be led by butterflies. I know the forest is forbidden, but surely it can't be that dangerous. Huh? There they are! She wasn't making it up. Well, we've come this far. Miss Willardsey might get an answer about these butterflies. Oh well, look what we have here. Pardon me, but were you saying something? Hello, Miss Willardsey. They led me into the forest and revealed a treasure. I did, and I followed them into the forest, but I'm afraid there was nothing to see. Ah, yes, we met in the common room. I thought that Merlin and the tales about King Arthur's court were mere myth. Is everything all right? Can you remind me what you needed help with again? Now, which way is the common room? I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials. I'm not sure old vine-covered pillars are worth studying. I have the Mallow Suite. The flames make the pyre sink. Hello, Arthur. What was it we were going to do? Hello, Arthur. Thought you might like to know that my map led to a doorway hidden within a portrait. Pardon me. Is everything all right? I'm afraid I don't follow. Who spoiled things? Also, what bells? Perhaps I could help put the bells back up. Is it really that important that the bells go back up? It's certainly an odd decree, even for Black. Taking down the bells for a headache. If only 2 bells are left, isn't it fairly easy to tell which goes where? About the bells, Evangeline. The bells are back up, Evangeline. Deke, Professor? I'll take that. Thank you. Hello, Deke. Shall we continue? Hello, Deke. Is this the clearing you mentioned? Fixtures? Mallow Suite? It's a long story, but thank you for your help. You're a researcher. They seem to be going deeper into the forest. I wonder where they're going. Don't worry, you'll get it in the end. A little more practice ought to do it. I'd say your wand work could be a bit more fluid. Hope this isn't as precarious as it looks. Well, good luck with it. It was nice to meet you, Cressida. Is it really that difficult to cast non-verbally? Well, it was nice meeting you, Gareth, and thank you for the insights on your aunt. Are you having butterbeer for breakfast? Goodness, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around, either in our common room or when you scale your next tower. What exactly are the rumours about my journey to Hogwarts? I think I should turn around. I should probably turn back. I'm not sure this is the right way. Perhaps I should go the other way. This is not the right direction. Better turn around. This doesn't seem to be the right way. Perhaps the other way's more promising. Perhaps I'm heading the wrong way. Let's try the other way, perhaps. I should come back to this another time. I don't think I can do this now. Best to come back. Perhaps I'll come back to this. I don't think I'm ready for this just yet. I don't think I can tackle this just yet. Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in. Unsanctioned. I don't know. School rules are in place for a reason. About what we discussed, Nerida. OWLs. Owls. Professor Sharp wasn't happy. Leave me out of your grand plans next time. Professor Sharp was annoyed, but we sorted it out. No harm. These dry vines are one spark away from becoming kindling. This must be the entrance to the hidden herbology corridor. Devil's Snare. Seems to thrive in darkness. Perhaps it doesn't care for light. Seems the Devil's Snare was protecting a chest of some kind. I'm going to have to use Accio to get to those books. Got it. Only 4 more to go. That's the last book. Now to take them back to Cressida. That sounds brilliant, actually. That sounds a rather complicated way to simply avoid carrying your books. I suppose I could help if I have the time. Sebastian told me to see you about a club. Of course. Dueling's an entertaining pastime. Don't really see the value in organised dueling. Senseless fighting, in my opinion. Get me in the ring. Perhaps later. Hello, Lucan. I wanted to talk to you about crossed wands. How does crossed wands work exactly? Oh, they seem innocent, but their tongues can be most disturbing. Surely you're joking. You can't possibly be afraid of a puffskein. Only teasing. We had an arrangement. I'm doing you a favour. Disappointment like this will encourage you to become a stronger person. Professor Weasley? Somewhere away from prying eyes. I imagine the bells are just inside the bell tower. Ah, found them. It seems as if that might come in handy. That's very kind of you, Mr. Hill. But I can't accept robes that I didn't pay for. Thank you, Mr. Hill. That's very generous of you. I suppose it must seem that way. I'm not sure it's justified. It's often been a matter of circumstance. They're adorable. Why would you be afraid of a puffskein? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Words can be cruel. I'm sorry, but you have to admit that's rather clever. The hidden herbology corridor? Mr. Weeks, I was able to set a record on my broom. Good news, Mr. Weeks. With your upgrade, I was able to set a new record at the Irondale course. This looks like the portrait from the map. Now, where's the treasure? A rhinoceros skeleton. I'm on the right track. There's the fountain. I'm getting closer. Hello, Deke. Can you remind me how to use the knapsack? What am I meant to be doing now, Deke? What if I can't find any beasts in their usual habitat? Then I shall go and rescue a Jobberknoll. Thank you. I've already rescued one, actually. Do you have another beast in mind for today? Deke, what am I meant to be doing again? Thank you. Perhaps Professor Fig's friend would have survived if we'd had your help. We handled it. And I think you're underestimating the nature of a dragon. A broom would have been kindling. Are you all right? I'm sorry the other students weren't more friendly. Gobstones. Sounds like a fun challenge. I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odours. I'll see what I can do. Do you have any suggestions on how to get your gobstones down from their hiding spots? Hello, Zenobia. What did you need help with? Rather an overreaction on their part. Sounds as if you caused a smelly situation and they responded accordingly. Everyone hates you? Why? Hello, Zenobia. I've found all of your gobstones. Of course. They are yours after all. I'm afraid I've decided to keep them. That'll teach you to stink up your classmates. I'm sure they'd be willing to play after the trouble spent getting them back. It's a fine idea. That's a horrible idea. No one wants to get that awful stench all over them again. Common sense and basic magic. I'm only teasing. Of course you can have them, yes? Finders keepers, I'm afraid. Goodbye, Imelda. This must be locked from the other side. The key. Here it is. Our potion's really that versatile. He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride. It was nice meeting you, Sebastian. I'll let you get back to your book. What book were you reading? Are you a keen Wizard chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match. Perhaps I should have a chat with Ominous. A journal entry. Signed by Noctua Gaunt. The dial requires focus. Matching the symbols did open it. Another dial solved. We're making progress. This journal entry, it mentions getting lost and being unwelcome. Ominous, your aunt wanted to change your family's traditions. Do you have a lot of time to fly during school? Ominous, a skeleton, and Noctua's last journal entry. She mentions being trapped here, blocked by an unforgivable curse. I couldn't help but overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists? Has the situation with Ranrock's loyalists improved? How did your brother Bardolph end up in St. Mungo's? I am unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something. You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp here. Where precisely? Why don't you simply leave the area for now? Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps. It was harrowing, and they dug in their heels, but I managed. Excuse me, did you say something about a Bardolph Beaumont? Excuse me, Mrs. Sprottle. Any news on Bardolph Beaumont's disappearance? I can certainly look out for him. Strictly speaking, it has. We were caught. Madame Beaumont, might I speak with you? Madame Beaumont? Any news regarding your brother Bardolph? Mrs. Sprottle told me a little about your brother's disappearance. I'll let you know if I see or hear anything about him. Past the river, near the forest. I must be on the right track. Madame Beaumont? I believe I have some news of your brother. Madame Beaumont, I do have some news of your brother. I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him. I'm afraid he's joined the Ashwinders, and has no interest in returning. He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted. I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont. Please, Ominous, I confided in you before about what happened with the Undercroft. After you, Professor. I officially have all of my supplies. Yes, Dittany seeds, some spellcrafts, and some potion recipes. It worked! Ominous, you possess a rare ability indeed. Very well, I'll bring you a Fwooper feather. It did sound like fun. I shouldn't have been so concerned with getting in trouble. I'm glad I avoided trouble. Sharp certainly seemed upset with you. Noctua references painful and arduous challenges, but also rewards. You know him better than I do. You said disrupted trade routes caused you to close Spintwitches. A new wand. Hello, Mr. Weeks, is it? That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here. Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock. I came as soon as I could. We need to see what they're doing, but let's not draw their attention. There they are, up ahead. We make a good team. How nice. Nothing I haven't seen before. Fun is a relative term. Thank you, Professor. Once again, we could fight our way through, or be discreet. Perhaps we can find an alternate route up ahead. This mine looks like a tomb. Not at all. I'm choosing to see it all as one big adventure. I don't see any goblins in these webs. Too many. They definitely think there's something here they want. It's no wonder spiders give people goosebumps. Professor Hecat would be proud. We have another fight on our hands. Don't know why Gryffindors get credit for bravery. We Slytherins are teeming with it. Sebastian, I think I found something. A canvas piece. Unless we can find another passageway to the Undercroft. Let's have a look around. It has to fit. Please tell me you recognize the location in this bit of canvas. I'd imagine most students have never seen a dragon. Have you? Well, I don't know about meticulous, but I did as I was asked. I'm sorry. What do I need to do? It is true, but we handled it very well. Smashing. We're not finished yet! Excuse me? Oh, well, thank you. Didn't she stop that dragon skull from crushing you? How did you find this place? Really? Like what? It sounds like a dangerous spell. A proper magical education ought to include all magic. Very well. It's a tad hot. Well, you took the fall for me. and that counts for something. I'd much rather have arrived on time and without a dragon attack en route. Well, if I'm going to make my mark here, I had to start right away. It's definitely intriguing. I'd like to help you solve this mystery. I'll see what I can do, but I'm fairly busy. I can't promise anything. Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you. Were you expecting to be sorted into Slytherin? Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid? Oh, that's nice to hear. I've had my share of adventure. I hope my reputation's warranted. I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage. Just because those cabbages will chomp on a dummy doesn't mean they do the same on, say, a goblin. Trust me, Leander. I was imagining it the entire time. Yes, Professor. I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor. What are we meant to be doing? Thank you, Professor. But looking after plants isn't all that thrilling to me. Sounds lovely. But what I really need is this rotten roast beef. Not at all. Finky sends her regards, along with the rotten roast beef. I'm flattered to hear that. Sebastian's not a bad duelist either. I seem to have a knack for dueling. This is a change of pace from our last outing. I'm glad that Professor Weasley arranged for this visit to Hogsmeade. Whatever it was, it made very little sense. That's a powerful enchantment. I'll have to take your word for it, but that does sound disastrous. Neither do I, but he made a charming first impression. What were you and Ominous speaking about? Stupefy ought to make quick work of these pumpkins. Do most students know how to cast non-verbally? Is it all right for students to wander into the kitchens? Are there any restrictions as to what you can make here? You're back. Listen, Professor. So much happened while you were away. Nearly Headless Nick asked me to get some rotten roast beef from the kitchens. Yes, and then I had to find Richard Jackdaw's head in the pumpkin so that he'd tell me how he died. He was a student here long ago. Anyway, he told me about a secret cavern. I went there, and right next to Jackdaw's skeleton, Eldritch Diggory's portrait in the common room told me about his great niece, Helen. Your friend, Mr. Ollivander, sent me an owl, asking for help finding an heirloom wand that was stolen from him. I received a flurry of messages from Professor Black's house elf, Scrope. I found the missing pages. Sounds simple enough. And who wouldn't want to go to Honeydukes? I don't know, Gareth. Secret passage to a cellar? Sounds like it's off limits. Of course. You never know when you might need a quick means of escape from the castle. You and your concoctions. I don't know how you come up with these things. Where do you find the time for this? And your homework? I'll see what I can do, Gareth. What's down there? I wonder if Adelaide's uncle could be down there. Hello, Gareth. I have those dried billywig stings. Happy to help. Here you go. Getting them was more work than I expected. I'd like to be paid for my time. Hello. Can you point me in the direction of the rubbish? Who knew all of this was going on right beneath our feet? I've gained a new appreciation for breakfast. There's nothing like a meal prepared by a house elf. It smells glorious in here. Here's some beef. But it's not rotten. I'd best keep looking. Here's a welcome treat. Delicious. Pardon me, but couldn't you point me to the rubbish? There's a disgusting smell. I must be getting close. Couldn't you have someone buy the dried billywig stings? Are you asking me to steal from a shop? Another note. I need to get that note down. I need to retrieve that note. I don't think I can get to that note. I'll have to bring it to me. The bells must be upstairs. One up, one to go. I'll have to get those up there somehow. Wingardium Leviosa, perhaps. Well, that wasn't too hard. Evangeline should be pleased about this. Even if Black isn't, I suppose I could. But why should I spend my time on a glorified errand? The statues Mr. Ollivander mentioned must be upstairs amongst the owls. Don't mind me, owls. I'm here to help a friend. Now, where are those statues? Empty perches. Could be the right size for jackdaws. Or statues of jackdaws. That's it! Not my best. You wanted to see me, sir? I'll do whatever I can. This could be right up my street. Even we Hufflepuffs enjoy a good mystery. How do you know about the book? And the pages? Madam Thistlewood, I met your great-uncle in his portrait in my common room. He sent me to speak to you. Sir, why do I need to complete these tasks again? Perhaps Sir Afpuddle is upstairs. Pity goblins and wizards can't get along. Goblins and wizard kind will never trust each other. Thank you. I need to find those pages. To help a friend. Let's play Summoner's Court. Aha. There's bound to be something up there. Of course, Mr. Ollivander. Sounds most up my street. Undermining the headmaster and getting something in return. Continue. Do you and the other house elves conjure the food served in the Great Hall? Is everything all right? I take it you're Alexandra's friend? It's done, Alexandra. I took care of him. I feel awful for Alexandra, but the hamlet needed to be saved from that troll. Very nice. That's how you do it. Excellent. There we go. Not quite. Well, that wasn't ideal. Pardon me, is everything all right? Come now, Leander, there's no need for that. I'm not lucky. I'm simply better than you. Samantha, about Summoner's Court. Hello, Grace. Let's play Summoner's Court. Hello, Charlotte. Let's play Summoner's Court. Professor, I'd like to play a game of Summoner's Court. An encampment. This must be it. Arn, I have good news. Your carts are on their way back. That was quite something. Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed ones all set? I'm ready. Let's do it. Not at the moment. Hello, Lucan. Is the final round of crossed ones ready? Hello, Lucan. Is the final round of crossed ones ready? I certainly am. I'm not quite ready yet. Yes, I'm ready now. No, I don't think so. Not right now. I'm just pleased to have done as well as I did. It was mostly luck, that's all. That was nothing. I'm just getting started. He did. We were talking about Hogwarts founders and he mentioned it. Wouldn't say much more, though. He did. We were talking about our house founder and he mentioned it. Wouldn't say much more, though. Could this be Mr. Oakes's campsite? Hello? Mr. Oakes? Tell me more about this treasured ring. Down to the water's edge. This had better not be a trick. A lift? Must be how I get down. Looks broken, though. I'm trapped. How am I supposed to get out of here? This looks a bit dangerous. What do you mean, your own troll? Concerning your troll, who's Barnabas the Barmy? What exactly were you training the troll to do? Chin up, Leander. Keep practicing and you'll get better. Leander, there's no easy way to say this. Well, actually, there is. You're not cut out for it. Thank you. It's been an honour. I'm flattered, but I don't deserve such an honour. I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide. Yes, sir. Arn, about your carts. It's all right. There we go. Well, that didn't work. Perhaps something with a bit more force. Dead end. Must be another way in. That looks as if it might raise the gate. I hope Natty stays out of trouble. Not the safest place to sneak into. So much for my efforts at concealment. I hope Natty's having an easier time of it. Oh no. Deke was right. We need to save you from these barbarians. Yes, she used to be an Aura. Well, she took me to Azkaban to meet Aunt Thisbe. And so I went to the owlery, like he said, and there were all these statues. Yes, I thought it was odd too. He asked me to meet him and then told me to take the toast. Perhaps later. I have other things to do. Quite an experience, but you see, Anne knew Richard Jackdaw before he died. So I had to find his ghost. Yes, which led me to a secret hideout where I found Richard Jackdaw's ghost. To a cave under the lake. And that's where I found Richard Jackdaw's ghost. Yes, well, I thought it was odd too. But then we took the roast beef to Sir Podmore of the Headless Hunt and that did it. Why me? I know just the spell to repair this armour. That wasn't so difficult after all. Now, to find that book. Conjuring. There wasn't much you could have done. He was beyond training. Tried to kill me the entire time. Hello, Lodgok. Serona said I might find you here. Hello, Gareth. What exactly did you want me to do again? I suppose you could call it eventful. I certainly wasn't expecting a troll attack. Now that's more like it. What have you? Hello. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. I'd like to ask you a few things if you don't mind. Just having a look around if that's all right. Would you mind telling me a little about Cambridge? How did you come to live here in Cambridge? And what sort of things do you sell? I'm sorry this happened to you. I shall certainly keep an eye out for your carts. A demiguise? I'd be glad to help you, Mr. Moon. The faculty tower? I'm not sure I should be going in there. Why would I do this? Seems all risk and no reward. I wonder what that does. That wasn't too bad. Good, I've got this. Brilliant. Count me in. Yes, don't count me out yet. Perhaps later. I'm inclined to agree with them. Trolls are dangerous creatures. It certainly takes a lot of courage to try. I'll give you that. I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it? You call that dueling? Don't take it so badly. Come on then. Care to try me? This is starting to hurt. Perhaps a potion would help. This isn't going well. What potions do I have? Why can't you get the demiguise moons yourself? Do you know who is behind the demiguise statues? Actually, I've already rescued one. Happy to help. Especially if you can shed light on the book. I'm not so sure about this. I don't need the headmaster upset with me. What's this all about? Your notes mentioned the book I found in the restricted section. I'm sorry to hear that. But how do you benefit if I find the pages? How did you know that I'd found a book? and that it's missing pages. I don't know, Mr. Ollivander. Perhaps Professor Fig overestimates my abilities. Richard Jackdaw, surely you could continue searching the owlery. I think I can guess how you died, but who did it to you? I shall go and see her right away. That sounds terrible, but I'm not sure how I can help. What a horrible story. Well, if you think I can help, I'll come with you. I'd rather not go to Azkaban. Why, is there no other way to help? I've always wanted to see Azkaban. Count me in. A jackdaw. Just as Mr. Ollivander said. Seen better days, I fear. I recognize those handles. The summoning charm should do the trick. Birds aren't afraid of heights. Perhaps I should look a bit higher. Deke? I'm a student from Hogwarts. Are you saying that the missing pages are in a cave? Near Upper Hogsfield? What are you trying to say? That the missing pages are in a cave? Near Upper Hogsfield? A vault? In some ruins? Near Upper Hogsfield? I suppose it can't hurt to look. But Madame Thistlewood, all right, I'll find it. I'll find Jackdaw's cave. Very well. I'm listening. Very well. Let's go. This must be the place Anne told me about. Very well. I'll retrieve the relic if you promise to share Ranrock's plans with me. If I retrieve the relic, how do I know you'll tell me the truth about what Ranrock says? There they are. The Ashwinders. A retired Auror, Helen Thistlewood, told me about a map you stole from Peeves, and then Anne told me about a cave. She was imprisoned in Azkaban for your murder. I fear the Dementors have taken an irreversible toll on her. She was imprisoned in Azkaban for your murder. Why didn't you exonerate her? I'm glad to hear it. Before you go, would I still be able to find the pages with the map Helen mentioned? I gave it my all. I'll give it another go. I think I'd better rest for a bit. Nice to meet you, Ominous. Hello again, Mr. Moon. I hear them. Pardon? Were you calling to me? Miss Moffat, I caught Gwynaira. Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the spellcrafts Professor Weasley ordered. I'm afraid I haven't yet, sir. That's certainly something to aspire to, Mr. Brown. I look forward to that day. Hello, Miss Coffee. How are you? I'm sorry to hear that your pet is missing. I shouldn't worry about it. It's only a niffler. I'll keep an eye out for Rococo. What did you need me to help you with, Miss Coffee? Why did Henrietta feel the need to protect her house like she did? Why don't you just get Rococo back yourself? Wait. How do you know about the book? And that it's missing pages? Nice to meet you, Sir Nicholas. Sir Nicholas? You were looking for me? It was nice to meet you. Thank you for the beef. This is all rather cryptic, Sir Nicholas. What's going on? Made it. Did anyone else see that? This is rather fun. Brilliant. Headless activities. Very well. I'd like to meet Sir Patrick myself and see this headless hunt. I thought the rotten roast beef was for you. Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the seeds Professor Weasley arranged for me to collect. Miss Coffee, I found your niffler. I'm sure he'll be happy to go home. More treasure. Rococo must have been through here. Treasure. That niffler's certainly leaving quite a trail. These coins must have come from Miss Coffee's niffler. I should follow the treasure to find that niffler. There it is. Just as Jackdaw described. I wonder how big this place is. These runes must have something to do with opening this door. Locked. Damn. I think I see. I'll need to cast more quickly. I need to hurry things up. The runes have reset. The runes go dark if I wait too long. I suppose I should do this a bit quicker. It appears that one glowing rune alone is not going to solve this puzzle. I think I'll need to light all of these. That one's gone dark. This will take more than one. That didn't stay glowing for long, and the door didn't open. Impressive. That must be where this all leads. Someone didn't want casual visitors down here. I wonder if any of my spells will help me through this. That's odd. I'd have thought Jackdaw would have been interested in this loot, but there's no sign of him. I'd say the summoning charm would come in handy right about now. I wonder if I can move that platform somehow. That platform ought to be able to float straight to me. If I could summon that platform to me, I could likely get on it. Another puzzle. Well, if Jackdaw could solve this, so can I. There must be another rune somewhere around here. Not at all. I need to speak to Richard Jackdaw. Sir Patrick said his head might be around here somewhere. I shall go and find a mooncalf then. We meet again, Richard Jackdaw. Shame. Those splinters must be what's left of Ollivander's wand. At least I can take the pages. Oh no. The room's starting to flood. Whew, it's a good thing Jackdaw didn't fall down there. I'm not going to touch those. Ugh. More spiders. These can't be what beheaded Richard Jackdaw. Farewell, monster. I can only imagine how these spiders have multiplied since Jackdaw came this way. There it is. The bridge. It's almost complete. I must be getting closer to Jackdaw's remains. And those pages. There's Jackdaw, looking dead as ever. What happened here? Might it happen again? May as well have a look around before I collect the pages. I should collect what I came for and be on my way. What? That's unnerving. What's happening? I've seen this before. In Gringotts and the restricted section. That must be the way out of here. I can only hope this magic protects me until I'm able to make my way out of here. Where am I? I'm back at Hogwarts. Professor Weasley sent me to collect some recipes. I'm new at Hogwarts. Pardon me, sir. It was worth losing a few house points for that detour. Perhaps. But we did get in trouble, and Kogawa could hold it against us. I suppose not. Is someone down there? Seems to be some sort of map. It seems Ranrock and Rookwood are conspiring. Why would that be? I retrieved the helmet from the Ashwinders. Enchanted candles. Wonder where they're heading. I suppose a picnic in the Forbidden Forest could seem romantic to some. Slayer? Vanquisher? Whisperer? Hello. Someone died here. It all seems clear to me now that we're here. That's good news. He seems very nice. Hello, is something the matter? I'll keep an eye out for your mooncalf, Garneth. Why do you suppose the poachers took Biscuit? Garneth, remind me again about your mooncalf, Biscuit. Garneth, I've rescued Biscuit. Excuse me, madam. I thought I heard you say something. An archaic puzzle. Sounds fascinating. I'm afraid I don't find puzzles that engaging. If I happen to see it, I'll have a look. Can you tell me again about the puzzle that you found? Mrs. Twiddle, your husband was right. The statue was part of a puzzle. Hello. I can imagine that would be rather frustrating. Seems like a poor choice of inventory. Surely that's obvious. Sounds like stocking your shelves comes with some hazards. Perhaps it was your dealings with Fwoopers that led to the precarious idea of stocking Diricals. Thank you, I will. You said you know what to do. Thank you for the warning. If you don't mind my asking, how did you lose your head? Helen mentioned Apollonia Black. Did she set up Anne to take the fall? You sound as if you could use some help. I have them right here. Hello, Mr. Ndai. Eddie Thistlewood sent me. Not yet, I'm afraid. Do you have any idea why the goblins are attacking Feldcroft? I'll return with the cabbages as soon as I can. How do you and Eddie know each other? Hello again, Mr. Ndai. It wasn't easy battling Ashwinders and finding a Niffler in that house. I've earned a reward. Sir, is everything all right? I'll get the venomous tentacula for you. I'm not sure this is something a student should be doing on your behalf. Mr. Barnes, about that venomous tentacula you wanted me to get. Hello, Mr. Barnes. I have that venomous tentacula. Actually, he's taken a liking to me, so I've decided to keep him. Hurry! All right, where would I find one? Are there any other beasts nearby? I'm glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind for me, but where could he be? Not a headless skeleton in sight, but I may as well help myself to this. An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. There you go. Good, Kneasel. No, I'm not. Sir Nicholas said you might know the location of some pages I'm looking for. Ominous, I hadn't imagined we'd end up trapped like this. We meet again, Richard Jackdaw. Thank you for keeping these pages safe all these years. Hello? Can I help you? Diving into the lake sounds like an adventure. Tell me more. I'm afraid I'm not keen on mucking about at the bottom of lakes. It sounds dangerous, especially for something of mere sentimental value. You seem to think I might have heard of the Bath Pinch Smedleys. Why would I know of your family? Grace, what is it you needed my help with? Hello, Grace. I followed your bearings on a dive in the Black Lake. I did. I hope it makes your father happy. I did. But it wasn't easy. I shall need to be compensated. That's really not funny. What exactly is an astrolabe? I will, Professor. Is this something we should be learning in school? I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you her worries outweigh yours. I found the pages and the map chamber. Why would I need the book? Golden gobstones. Can't say I recommend it, frankly. It's nice to meet you, Amit. I take it you like astronomy. No one at school's going to believe this. Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you had an idea. What's this? Oh, what was that? Was that a golden snitch? I hope astronomy's on my schedule. It sounds interesting. I'm afraid I'm not much for memorizing constellations. Enough to worry about on the ground. Nice to meet you, Samantha. Is Dittany used in Wiggenweld potion? An affinity for herbology is more typical of a Hufflepuff than a Ravenclaw, isn't it? Hello, why not, I say? What sort of change? I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm quite alright as I am. Is that your owl? Enjoying the view? Are you saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones? I am a bit concerned. I have a lot of catching up to do. I'm really not worried. I'm sure I'll be fine. These vines are as dry as kindling. It looks like a grab horn. That's a head. I can't say that I do. If that's what must be done, I'll do it. Have you ever subdued a grab horn, Professor? Very well. Lord of the Shore, show yourself. This must be the place. The grab horn is somehow the key to opening the room. There it is again. That was for Highwing. Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg. Can't we apparate past them into the tower? It's more than mere coincidence that we encountered Ranrock's loyalists here. Can't imagine the goblins know about the trials. They know that something is significant about this place, though. I presume I'm looking for traces of ancient magic. But where? I don't want to fly right now. Perhaps later. I did find it. However, I've taken a liking to it, so I'm going to keep it. I'm sorry. How exactly has he been cursed? Well, it is an unusual situation. How did your brother end up like this? It was nice meeting you, Lenora. Nice meeting you, Arthur. And good luck finding that cat. Nice to meet you too. Is everything all right? I'll say. I nearly went deaf. Wait here! I'll run ahead to the next safe spot. That one is true. Not the typical start to a new school. If you don't mind, I'd prefer to just forget about it. Thank you, Adelaide. Be seeing you. What do you need help retrieving? Perhaps? What precisely do you need to retrieve, and why? I'm so sorry. What happened to them? Finders keepers, Grace. Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more. Are you sure everything is all right with your uncle? I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade. Yes, Professor? Do you really think you should have been in Ravenclaw? Remarkable. Have you ever had a pet, Arthur? Seems I need to find Mr. Lawley's cellar. This must be it. Better not let Mr. Lawley see me. Where is that venomous tentacula? So many spiders. It's a wonder they haven't taken over the whole house. Ugh. Now that I have the venomous tentacula, I should return to Mr. Barnes. Perhaps one of these guards has the key. Could the phoenix be in there? Can I help you? If you tell me where to go, I'll see what I can do about it. Sophronia, I solved all the puzzles in the Hall of Herodiana. Of course. Behold, of course. But not for free. That wasn't easy. You were right about how spectacular it is. Which is why it's a pity you didn't find it yourself. This must be the entrance to the Hall of Herodiana. Well, here it is. The Hall of Herodiana. Better go inside and find those puzzles. And this must be the last piece of Herodiana's ensemble. It is remarkable. That wasn't too hard. I wonder what's next. I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Just one left. Suppose I should look for that secret hall Sophronia told me about. It does sound interesting. Fig is an interesting wizard, to be sure. I imagine he could tell some stories. Hello again, Mr. Thistlewood. Do you stay close to home because it's safe in the hamlet? You never wanted to get out and explore the world around you. Hello, Helen Thistlewood, wasn't it? You sound like someone who's seen their share of the outside world. What was it like being in Aura? You must have some experience battling evil forces in the world. Just saying hello. It was nice to meet you. Saccharissa, I found the booba tubers you needed. This is where Saccharissa said to go. Now, where are those booba tubers? That should do it. I'd better get back to Saccharissa now. This must be where the Pinch-Smedley family astrolabe is. I should let Grace know that I found her family astrolabe. Of course. Happy to have found them for you. It actually was a spot of trouble. You never mentioned I might encounter a troll. I think you should pay me more. I'm ready to learn how to use the knapsack. Oh dear, that sounds awful. Did that really happen, or are you simply being overdramatic? What do you mean you do important work for the headmaster? Ferdinand Pratt thinks you should be. Says you stole his frame. May I ask where you put him? You really ought not have said that. What if I don't want to return you to the Three Broomsticks? Tempting as a bonfire sounds, I think I'll spare you that fate. Goodbye, Ferdinand. Enjoy your new home. It's no Three Broomsticks, that's for certain. Oh, give it a chance. You might grow to like it. Oh, I see. Thank you anyway. Is everything all right, madam? I could take care of Selwyn for you. What did you need help with again? This must be the castle that Sylvanus Selwyn and his thieves are in. If I can just get to him, I should be able to disband the group. Selwyn has been taken care of. This must be the castle where Miss Coffey's Niffler ran away. Now, to find a way inside. That's the end of them. Now, I can focus on finding Rococo. This Niffler is a tricky one. When I get my hands on that niffler, I might as well grab the niffler. I'm here now. Ashwinders, I hope Miss Coffee appreciates this. Never realized how tiring it can be to capture a niffler. Best get back to Miss Coffee. What a dreadful lot. That hideaway does sound intriguing. Perhaps I should investigate, for Rococo's sake. More Ashwinders. I hope the Ashwinders haven't done anything with Rococo. Has Renrock's lot ever attacked you like this before? How many of you are there? Sebastian, look. Mr. Weeks, what did you need from me? I'm excited to hear more. A time trial at the Quidditch pitch. Sounds intriguing. I suspect Mr. Weeks will be glad to hear how I fared. I think this might be where I dived to reach the Merpeople. Look at this place. Did the Merpeople really leave Nerida an artifact? Now then, I'll need you to come with me. What do we have in here then? Nerida will be happy about this. Now for the rest of you. Going for a swim? You're a liaison to the Merpeople. I'm impressed. I think reaching out to the Merpeople is a grand idea. I'm not sure this is a worthwhile endeavor. Do the Merpeople even want to be liaised with? How has wizardkind fallen short in its treatment of Merpeople? What do you imagine a liaison to the Merpeople would do? Well, I can swim and could help you if you'd like. What is it about the Merpeople that interests you so much? Your gift from the Merpeople was exactly where they said it would be. Then I'm glad we helped to foster some healthy diplomatic relations. Very well, sir. I shall keep an eye out for 2 crates of Chinese chomping cabbages. Nice to meet you too, Madam Twiddle. Any plan you had to train that thing was doomed. He tried to kill me the entire time. That sounds a very good idea. I don't know, Deke. Sounds a lot of work. Can't I just carry on rescuing beasts? I see. What do I need to do? I'm not thrilled at the prospect, but I'll consider it. Sounds a bit dangerous. I'd rather not risk running into poachers again. Well, I'd better go and rescue it then, hadn't I? How is it that I can help you with your next broom upgrade? Off to the races then. Another successful flight. I should let Mr. Weeks know. A map. It doesn't appear to be connected to the missing pages. Best hang on to it for now. A map. I wonder where it leads. I quite like the idea of an authentic Mermish artifact. I'm tempted to keep it myself. If you really wanted this, then perhaps you should have fetched it yourself. I know. I was only joking. It's all yours. The name makes sense now. And the secrecy. Why would the goblins target Feldcroft? Could you not grow or buy more Chinese chomping cabbages? I need to deliver Chinese chomping cabbages to Bernard Indiaye here in Feldcroft. I can see why Feldcroft needs help. Yes, I had to destroy a number of large vases, and that seemed to activate some sort of charm on the statue. I should look into the statue Madame Twiddle mentioned. This looks like the statue Madame Twiddle mentioned. Why are there so many vases around here? I suppose I should try to find all the vases. I think there should only be a few more vases. That's it. I should tell Madame Twiddle about what happened. Professor Sharp's class, yes. A little turbulent and it's wanting for a bit of speed, but it fared well enough. How deep are we going? I don't know. But I found this, floating above that basin. I know a way out! The location marked on the map isn't far from here. Certainly looks to be the place. Where in Merlin's name am I? This can't be it. Must be a way through. There we go. Should have expected company. I couldn't have done it without your help, Deke. Thank you. Wait, is that the hippogriff from my treasure map? Seems whoever enchanted those brooms was more concerned with cleanliness than with cooking. I wonder who this is. Someone was an avid reader. Can't say I'm familiar with many of these titles. Hello, sir. I don't believe we've met. Well, that's everything. Better go and find Natty. There's the cabinet. How do I get this key in there? Hello, Nellie. I managed to get a Daedalian key into its lock. A curious token of some sort. A Daedalian key. Wonder where it might lead me. This must be my house chest. I just need to insert the token. Here we go. The last house token. Time to see what's inside. Well, that didn't work. That's it. An old coin. Perhaps Nellie knows what it means. I should see this through and find the Gryffindor house chest. Seems I'll need to find more house tokens if I'm to open this. Quite a few by the look of it. Well, look at that. Thanks goes to the former headmistress, Eupraxia Mole. Another house token for the house chest. This Daedalian Keys challenge is coming along nicely. That's it. I'm making good progress with these tokens. Sounds as if you're really outdoing yourself. If I'm able to help, I will. If it means another upgrade, the pleasure's all mine. It rides well. Does get a tad shaky at top speed, and the handle wobbles a bit when I hit a strong gust of wind. It seems happy to come with me. I wonder if it could travel in the knapsack. Pardon me, sir. I could keep an eye out for the thief, sir. Mr. Haggerty, can you remind me what we spoke about? I have some good news, Mr. Haggerty. I unmasked your thief. Perfect. Let's see what we've got. This must be what all the fuss was about. What do you suppose we should be looking for? I see something up ahead. When I moved towards the glow, it suddenly seemed as if the ground was swirling about. Yes, sir, I'm fine. That statue. It looks like the symbol I've been seeing. That looks like a different room through the archway. Is there something I can help you with? Mister, I'm very sorry to hear about your friend.
Sounds like Milo knew exactly what he was in for, and risked your life as well.
If I have time, I can try to collect the heirloom watch, Mr. Adley. Could you please remind me what you needed help with? Mr. Adley, I retrieved the heirloom pocket watch from Milo's body. I'm glad Milo's daughter will have something to remember him by.
This was quite difficult to retrieve. Shouldn't I get a reward for my trouble?
Now, where could that acromantula cave be? This could be the acromantula cave Mr. Adley mentioned. Now that's taken care of. I need to find the heirloom for Milo's daughter. I need to bring this heirloom back to Mr. Adley.
Flying tips and a jaunt around Hogwarts. This is quite the tour, Everett.
Hello, is there something I can help you with? How magnanimous. I can try and find some for you if I have the time. I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Actually, sir, the thief was a niffler. It's incredible, isn't it? Wow! I'm glad I could help protect Cragcroft and the Ashwinders.
Surely the safety of Cragcroft is worth more. I'd hate for the Ashwinders to know who offered a bounty on Selwyn. Is everything all right?
Hazel.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'll keep an eye out for your unicorn friend and take her to safety if I see her. How did you become so close with the unicorn?
Hello, Mrs. Bugbrook. What was it you needed help with?
Might be interesting to see where this leads. This looks like the entrance indicated on the map. Why is this door locked? Must be something around here I can climb on. Brilliant. The first piece of the puzzle. 1 down, 2 to go. Success! In theory! What are they protecting?
Let's hope you stay dead this time.
The 9 rocks on the map. That's odd. The markings are different on the map. Eureka!
Glad to have got something after defeating those in theory.
Where on earth is this leading me?
I'd say that I agree with you. Sounds like a good idea.
Are you holding your breath again?
Oh, yes. She mentioned it to me. It contained some of her late husband's belongings. What exactly was the family heirloom that the thief stole? Why would Catrin come back to rob the hamlet if she'd already left? Are you sure Catrin is the culprit? It could be anyone. You got all of that from simply standing here. That's what Professor Rackham meant when he spoke of my needing an ability to interact with beasts. Tell me more about what needs to be done, Professor. Professor Fig! You know, small, furry, pilfering. I followed it to its lair. As a matter of fact, I did. I'm sorry, Mr. Haggerty. I wish I could say that I had. We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and... I shouldn't say more. I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it. They did, Professor.
Was this statue pointing the other way before?
What was that?
Appears there's a bit more to do before I can get through that door.
Hello, Natty. How are you? I hope you've recovered from our rather eventful trip to Hogsmeade.
Enchanted mannequins? What type of shop was this before I bought it?
Poachers. Let's see how the Lord of the Shore feels about his neighborhood being invaded. Didn't anyone ever teach you not to take things that don't belong to you? It'll take more than this to stop the Lord of the Shore. We're crossing that bridge whether you like it or not. Time for you all to clear out.
How did Herodiana Byrne become famous by casting Depulso?
What ended up happening to Herodiana Byrne?
I did.
Where can I find the resources I need?
That must have done something. Best have a look around.
These look familiar.
Was it Accio I used before? Certain things appear only when I'm on one side of an archway. Things appear and disappear depending upon which side of an archway I've accessed. Not making this easy on me. Seems I ought to explore this archway from both sides. I need to get back up there. Perhaps I have to go through the archway again. I'll never get used to these floors. More statues. I'm missing something. I suspect the summoning charm is the answer. How do I get back up there? Don't like the look of this. What a relief.
I have the dried billywig stings.
Now, back to Gareth.
Rookwood? I suppose I'll see you in class then. Just who is Astoria Cricket, and what would she want with your frame?
I brewed an Edorus potion as you asked, Professor.
Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted.
Can you remind me what you needed again?
I heard a goblin refer to wizard kind as wand carriers. Are goblins forbidden from carrying wands?
You're not going to believe this.
I can see the Undercroft. I know it sounds strange, but
a rune symbol. I've seen similar symbols used by the keepers.
We need to see what they're doing. I say we take them head on. Let's bury some enemies. Never mind, it was just a thought. I shouldn't return to Deke without knowing whether or not that body was Tobbs. That table looks familiar. Seems I'm back at the entrance to the cave. I'm afraid not. Why? What is it? Yes, Professor. I don't need extra work to become a better flyer. I'm sorry about your sister. If there's anything I can do... Oh, hello, Ominous. I was just heading to our common room. This must be the prefect's bathroom. That room's called the Undercroft. Ah, well, I was exploring and suddenly found myself in a strange passageway. Ah, yes, the magical bird can disappear when it senses danger. A diricawl. What's that? I owe you an apology, Ominous. I wasn't honest with you before about the Undercroft. Sebastian did show it to me. This is goblin metal. Seems out of place in a poacher camp. I should tell Poppy about it. Professor, I'm glad to see you. They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood. They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it. It leads to the library. The restricted section, to be precise. And a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map. I think that's enough practice for now. Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Heckert. It's good to see you, Professor. Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone. Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. The pages are why you lost your head. And I must visit a cave and search for your corpse. I need those pages. So I suppose I'd better meet you. Thank you. What is this place? We meet again, Richard Jackdaw. The room is called the Map Chamber, by the way, and a portrait of Percival Rackham awaits us there. Evidently, Peeves stole them, and Jackdaw stole them from him. Hello, Professor Rackham. We've placed the book on the pedestal, as you asked. I do. Yes, sir. I will, sir. I'll see you back in the Map Chamber. Actually, I might know of someone. I saw Sirona at the Three Broomsticks speaking to a goblin once. They seemed friendly. That's new. Onwards, I suppose. You're right. I can see that. She didn't seem at all intimidated by Rookwood and Harlow. Perhaps a bit. What happened? Professor? Sir? Where are we? Portkey. I'm feeling better, sir. If you'd like to look around a bit. Your wife's portkey. Professor? No, darker. I saw that same glow on the dragon's collar. Yes, sir. Can I see magic? Fine, sir. Where are we? I have, Professor. Thank you, Professor Fig. I appreciate you working with me before term begins. Not at all, sir. Yes, sir. I'm starting school as a 5th year. What's that glow? Of course, sir. I am, Professor. It hasn't, Professor. Very well. Aspiration. The others, and that she isn't intimidated by thugs like Rookwood and Harlow. Lucky they didn't do more damage. There, good as new. One less thing for Officer Singer to worry about. I've seen that goblin before. That's Victor Rookwood. Professor Weasley called him an unsavoury local. I've seen that goblin before. That's Victor Rookwood. Professor Weasley called him an unsavoury local. I know he's angry, but he's only trying to do what he thinks is best for Anne. I've rescued the Thestrals, and bought the spellcraft for the pen. I should let Deke know about the newborn Thestral. Those loyalists deserved what they got. Perhaps you're right. The loyalists are everywhere. But they do seem to be spending a lot of time here. And it's likely they're hiding something. Seems an awfully violent response to a child wandering by. What were they trying to hide? It sounds as if the Loyalists attacked Anne without cause. It is a book after all. I'm ready for the next lesson, Professor. I have the moonstone you requested, Professor. Professor, I have some questions about conjuration. There are so many choices. What items do you think I should conjure? Can I remove an item I've conjured? I think I can manage from here. Thank you. I've conjured everything I can. What's next, Professor? I have some questions about alteration, Professor. Are you all right? No! I'll try to go and see her when I can. Hello, Sirona. I received your owl. How are you? Hello, Sirona. You were hoping I'd check on a friend of yours, weren't you? Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you. Believe it or not, I have some with me. I can certainly try and find some for you. Hello again, Mrs. Sprottle. Madam Bugbrook, I found your unicorn friend, Hazel. We're both fine. And I have a safe place for her at Hogwarts. We're both fine, and I can keep her safe, I promise. but I wonder if you can help me with the costs of caring for her. I need to fix the lift before I can use it. If I could lift this platform, I think I could get it to work. I need to find a way to open that gate. This one appears to be broken. I wonder what this does. I need to get that mechanism out of the way. I can only imagine how his new recipe is going to turn out. Hello. I don't believe we've met. I received your owl. Thank you. It was certainly good practice. Nothing gets past you. I think it's to do with my ability to see traces of ancient magic. I am. Sebastian and I met my first day at Hogwarts. In the Slytherin common room. I am. Sebastian and I met during a rather lively duel in defense against the dark arts. You did not. Is it connected to our common room? Indeed. I only hope we'll have enough space for all of them. Sebastian, there you are. Thank you, Sebastian. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section. Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later. What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section? How concerned should I be about the librarian? How many vaults are there in Gringotts? Yes, sir. What do you mean? That sounds awful. I understand. Leave it to me, Deke. I'll find Hobbs for you. Hello, Deke. I have some questions for you. Thank you. I'll get back to collecting materials. Enough, Ranrock. It was never yours. This looks like the location from the painting. What could be so special about it? This looks like the spot from the treasure map. That did it. Perhaps the map contains clues about the order I'm supposed to ring the bells in. And look! Treasure! What's this? Some sort of treasure map. Just let me know when, and I'll meet you. Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy? That would be wonderful. Actually, I might come back later. I think that's enough practice for now. You're right. I'd better see this through. I shall finish up later. Thank you, Lucan. Where do you suppose your wife got the portkey that brought us here? Ancient magic! But sir, why was your wife searching for evidence of lost magic? How far did that portkey take us? Sir, those ruins. Do you think... Professor? Professor Fig! Professor, where are you? This isn't good. Can I use the loom to enhance any item of clothing? I used the enchanted loom, Deke. That came out nicely. I should show Deke. I've collected some magical materials, Deke. That enchanted crystallized stone again. But what could it be blocking? What's this? Professor Fig! Where are we? Brilliant. Professor, it's a mural of some kind. Professor, this statue... Why would someone have built this here? Thank you, sir. I don't see any way to get across. Professor? Revelio. A door? I do, Professor. That symbol has the same glow as the one I saw in the portkey container. It is. The reflection's still there, but the statue's positions don't match. Wait. When you moved, the reflection turned in the direction of the light. Now the reflection is turning towards me. It does follow the light. Now to align the statues with their reflections. Here goes. I suppose I'm on my own this time. I need to align these statues with their reflections. I'll find you at the tower as soon as I can. Where am I to meet you, Professor? You said that you know that tower. What can you tell me about it? I would have paid to see that. The blast does heat things up. I see how you lost your eyebrows. This is exactly the type of magic I've been hoping to learn. Thank you, Professor. The room is full of possibilities. How did that happen? I'll tell you what I can. Rookwood and Ranrock are trying to recover something they think I took from a vault in Gringotts. You must promise to keep this between us. Seems you enjoy brewing. Might I assume that you've a talent for potions of all sorts? How is Everett flying so quickly? The reservoir of ancient magic. Downstairs, near the entry. I've seen this before. In Gringotts and the restricted section. Do you think this was damaged by the fire the night that Anne was cursed? Another passageway. We should search the room first. Thank you, Professor. I shall keep an eye out. Following a Hogwarts treasure map. Count me in. Why would I want to decipher an old map? I found what I believe is an authentic historian's uniform. Aha! There was a doorway hidden within the portrait. I wonder what came of Arthur's search. I'll keep an eye out for a large white diricawl. Not too bad, if you know what you're doing. She was difficult to track down, but I managed in the end. Of course, yes. But I'll be expecting payment first. This must be the diricawl den that Miss Moffat told me about. Now, where is Gwenira? That's the one! This is the diricawl den. But Miss Moffat said Gwenira only appears at night. Got her! Now I need to let Miss Moffat know. A journal entry by Isadora. Thank you, Professor. I have no more questions. How do I use the altering spell? What can I customize with the altering spell? Actually, I think she'll be safer with me. Very well. I shall take a look if I can find the time. In that case, all right. Here's the heirloom watch. I don't think you realize the trouble I went to retrieving the watch. Perhaps you can sell it for the girls' supplies. I wish all Slytherins could talk to snakes. I'd like to be able to talk to snakes. You don't know that history will repeat itself. Besides, you said your aunt thought like you. This could honor her memory, get you answers about Slytherin, and Sebastian answers for Anne. Your aunt pursued this alone. We could do it together. Honestly, I'm not entirely certain. All I know is that I can see whispers of an old magic that hardly anyone else can. Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you wanted to tell me more about the loom. Where are we meeting, Sebastian? Leave her alone. Is that ice? And how is there a room behind it? There's that glow again, like the glow on the portkey container. Thank you, Peeves. Another obstacle in my path. The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. How many of them are there? It seems I have no choice. I'm going to have to fight my way out of here. Milo, the absconder. The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me. And he would have, had Serona and the patrons at the Three Broomsticks not intervened. But, sir, how dangerous could the library be? Perhaps we're only after a book. That's one egg sac destroyed. I should get the rest. Half finished. But I need to destroy all of the egg sacs. Good. No more egg sacs. Hello, Mr. Pippin. You need help with the delivery? What do you need delivered? I recognize you from the Pensives. You're Professor Rackham. Well said. Now, where do we go from here? Another gate. Sounds versatile. I appreciate the confidence. I'm the same age that you and Isadora Morganach were when you started at Hogwarts. To see traces of ancient magic. Yes, sir, I do. I don't have the book with me, sir. Actually, I don't think I have any questions. Seems he's working with Ranrock. And Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts. I've never even met him. Perhaps he mistook me for another student. Professor Fig and I ended up there after the dragon attack. It's quite the tale. Fig had this portkey. Well, that's everything. Better go and find Sebastian. I suppose so. It's all a bit of a blur, to be honest. I know Ominous. Met him in our common room. I've noticed he uses his wand to navigate the castle. I think I've seen Ominous in potions. Or was it herbology? I've noticed that he uses his wand to navigate the castle. I'm not sure where to start. I barely follow myself, and I was there. Anyway, we ended up in an ancient vault where we found a map. That map leads to the restricted section. Deadly serious. Professor Fig has insisted that I not tell a soul about any of this. I've probably said too much. I need to find something for Professor Fig, but it's in the restricted section of the library. He was called away by Black at the last moment. I suppose I could wait to get a note from him, but... Precisely. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section. The Mallow Suite is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols. That's what we're trying to find out. I'd be happy to help with the delivery. I'd rather not deal with difficult people, but for a reward, I think I can manage. Sir, could you remind me about the delivery you needed help with? Very well. I shall let Mr. Pippin know I delivered the potions as requested. Madame Luong? I have a delivery from J. Pippin's Potions. Here are the potions you requested. Why do you keep ordering from him if you think the quality to be inferior? Seems simple enough. I'll do it. I delivered the potions to Fatima Luong. Nothing to worry about. I handled it. I can see why you didn't want to go. She was quite cantankerous. Our interests will never be aligned. Charles Rookwood wouldn't have wanted you near it. I have no idea what you're talking about. Imelda Reyes? Albie Week sent me. A friendly goblin. He wants no part in Ranrock's fight. Someone who knows Ranrock personally. They asked me not to mention their name to anyone. Perhaps your uncle was right about you. You don't know when to stop. I do. I also see why you refer to this room as the map chamber. So, the passage from your ruins to Gringotts, everything in the vault, the restricted section, finding this room, none of these was a trial. You're not a bad chap. For a Slytherin? I do, but not all goblins. What do we do now? Ominous is not going to cast the Cruciatus Curse again. Wait, you didn't say you knew how to cast Crucio. I want to learn the curse, and I think it's best if I cast it on you. I want to learn the curse, but I won't cast it on you. You need to cast it on me. I don't want to learn the curse, but I can handle the pain. It's fine. Cast it on me. That pain! It was excruciating, but I'll survive. Let's keep moving. Sebastian, Ominous, there's a book just here. I suppose if that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you at the forest. Where did you suggest we meet? How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? If that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you there. I see no reason to involve Ominous. We need to tell him. He's the reason we found the book, and he deserves to know what you've learned. What will you do with Slytherin's spellbook? Those references in the book seem promising. Did you get what you needed for your sister? Of course, officer. I was happy to help. Oh? What's so special about them? Spend a lot of time in detention, do you? It's my first time here. Thank you for this. I promise to tell you everything. But it's perhaps best I do that later. It's my first time here. Thank you for this. I promise to tell you everything. But it's perhaps best I do that later. I'll do my best. I can promise to speak with him about it. I'm afraid it's really up to Sebastian, and his mind seems to be made up. How should I collect magical materials? Archie? Archie Bickle. Sebastian, over here. Someone piled this here for a reason. Is it blocking something? Whose home was this? It's a wonder the Ministry isn't doing more. You did not. Sounds worth looking into. Any idea where in the castle? I'm sorry you experienced something like that at so young an age. You must miss him. I wonder what Archie saw. I hope he didn't see Harlow kill his father. I'd like to know more about it, if you wouldn't mind telling me. I won't repeat it. I understand. You needn't tell me if you don't want to. I wonder why. Not everyone does. I don't know. I did see another memory. This time it was a keeper named Neve Fitzgerald. What were you thinking? How horrible. Poor Ominous, he was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself. That's awful. But no matter the circumstance, he should never have cast it. He should have known better. Ominous is right. Meddling in the dark arts is dangerous. The dark arts do pique my interest. Of course. Shall we leave now? Thank you for humouring me. I believe I am. Just a few more minutes, if that's all right. I can't believe any of what just happened. No, I think I'm ready to leave if you are. Yes, just a few more minutes. Wait here. I'll run ahead. I'll draw her attention. Follow when it's safe. I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan. What was in the note? What did he ask you to do? Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing. Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped? Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are. I was hoping to look around for a moment, if you don't mind. Take it all in. I hope Professor Fitzgerald has confirmed what she needed to. I have to complete the next trial as soon as I can. Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search. I understand. Very well. We'll find some way to get in. How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do. Professor Fig, the keepers have shown me where the next trial is. Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Rounrock. Wait. Doesn't Polyjuice Potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound? I see. But what if Professor Black sees me? Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
You could have got us killed. Wait, we should have some sort of plan. Did you hear that goblin? Sebastian, wait. These spiders are determined to make a meal of us. Can't we talk about this? How are you doing, Sebastian? I can be sneaky. Let's go. But Professor... Hello, Miss Ryan. I wanted to thank you again for your help with Rookwood and Harlow the day of the troll attack.
Miss Broom, a word.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley, if you're sure?
The Polyjuice Potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight. Clopton, isn't it? Please, call me Phineas from now on. Consider it a special privilege.
I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto. The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. It is. And I have. Oh, and as you've probably guessed by now, your Polyjuice plan worked like a charm. I should ask Sirona at the Three Broomsticks about the goblin she was talking to the day of the troll attack. I don't know, Gareth. I don't want to get on Sharp's bad side. I've enough to worry about collecting the ingredients he wants me to get. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Professor. I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations. Are you all right? Book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back. Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it. That he must be here somewhere. Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there. Understood. I'll find it. Impressive. What have the keepers planned for me? These are never a welcome sight. At least I know what to expect this time. Another memory. Now to find a way out of here. I hope the next time Rookwood's Lock comes calling, you'll alert the authorities. Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret? Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband? Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken? Oh, yes. A friend of Professor Fig's. I take it you're not afraid of heights? I have everything. I see what you meant about not being able to pick a favourite shop. The book I found in the restricted section was missing some pages. That's about it. All right. I can see traces of ancient magic. Pleasure to meet you, Cressida. No, I merely studied with him briefly before we arrived. I'm not sure I'd say that, but I did study with him a little before we arrived. Is that what you were trying to do just there? Professor Fig and I wound up there after the dragon attack. There was this port key. Well, it's all a bit convoluted. If your sister is unwell, she may not want visitors. Poor Sebastian. Not the visit he'd hoped for. I ought to see how Sebastian's faring. I seem to be collecting bits of stone when I vanish these objects. Sebastian, of course. Ominous spoke to me about his family when we first met. To say that he has no love lost for them is an understatement. Understood. But why does Ominous have no love lost for his family? He and Ranrock were close once, but they had a falling out. Lodgok did mention that Ranrock is searching for something, but he couldn't say what. Very well, sir. I'm on my way. It looks empty. If they've taken all of it, why are they still here? Professor Rookwood, the goblins and dark wizards who've overrun your castle are digging for stores of magic. Hello, Grace. What are you doing here? I suppose so. Fig and I think that Ranrock has somehow found a way to harness that magic's power. There. Can hardly tell a troll barreled through it. I have a rare ability to see whispers of ancient magic. I'm not entirely sure, but the Keepers have said that it's a powerful magic that should only be wielded by a select few. Very well, Professor. I've actually met Mrs. Sprottle. I recently spoke with her about her friend, Claire Beaumont. I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best. Mr. Rabe? Daisy told me you'd been abducted. Worried about you. Are you all right? Why hide a triptych here? A note. Let's have a look. You don't know what you're saying. Take a breath for a moment. Hello, Lucan. I'd like to practice with the training dummy. That'd be brilliant. Actually, I might come back later. Hello, Lucan. I'm ready for practice. Thanks, Lucan. You've been a great help. It was only a training dummy. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Serona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you. Crucio, correct? The Cruciatus Curse, also known as the Torture Curse, inflicts excruciating pain on the victim. What does the Cruciatus Curse do?
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Perhaps I'll have to purchase a broom then. Hello, I don't believe we've met. I knew his parents died, but I never heard what happened. Poor Anne and Sebastian. You'd like me to report back with even more flight details? Hello, Mr. Weeks. Did you still need help with your broom upgrades? Hello again, Mr. Weeks. I set a new record at the South Course. Very well. I shall let you know when I have some. Will all of my beasts produce magical materials? Some references Sebastian mentioned in the book do worry me. You mentioned that your paintings were taken. Are you a painter? Of course. Glad to hand it over, frankly. It wasn't as easy to come by as I had expected. I'd like to be paid for my troubles. Well, I suppose if looking for Tobbs also allows me to test my enchanted clothing, then I can do it. Should be, Professor. I won't, Professor. Thank you. Mr. Barnes will only get in trouble going down this path. I need to find another way to get him a venomous tentacula. Now I can conjure a breeding pen in the room. Best get back to Deke with the Thestrals. Who is this wizard? Who are you? Why are we here? Opening all of these is tempting. We're in a tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory. Leave no stone unturned. Or, in this case, no bone. Where did you learn the Imperious Curse? I don't think learning the Imperious Curse is a good idea. It's probably wise to know the spell. Shouldn't I know more about what the curse entails? What's happening? I need to get the reflections to follow the light. Perhaps I need to get them all to stand at once. Where do I need to be to get all of them to stand at once? Where am I supposed to go? Ah, here we are. Incredible. Hello there. Was there something you needed? What uses do magical materials have? That must have been frustrating for you. I can see why he said that. You do seem angry. Spiders aren't insects. What did you hope would happen? I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be? Is Mr. Rabe all right? Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood Lot? There's something here by the altar. Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones. I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished. And then we're abandoned. It's not that I'm not interested, and you can certainly trust me if you want to tell me anything. If you learn more about that scriptorium, let me know. I know. Continue to hone my magic. Might be a bit dangerous for a broom trial. I'll see what I can do. The best upgrade yet. It flew beautifully, incredibly nimble. I should let Mr. Weeks know that this was his best upgrade yet. That's odd. Why would someone store one hat in here? I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster. I'm just here for Summoner's Court. Bit dramatic, isn't it? How gracious of you. I doubt anyone's been here in quite some time. For a moment there, I thought that'd never end. Hold on. Don't give up yet. The note advises to leave the relic alone. Sophronia, could you remind me what it is you needed help with? What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential? I'm willing to ignore what the journal says. We're taking the relic. Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back. I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets. Sebastian's right. We need that relic. You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes. He did, Professor. It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperious Curse. What exactly happened to your father? Galloping. Your father was also an animagus, I take it? I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional. Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death? Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing? I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more. You're not ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best. Are you willing to sacrifice your friendship over this? That's what I'm saying. I would take all responsibility. This could save your friendship. That's what I'm saying. I would take all responsibility. This could save your friendship. What did you need me to do, Deke? Sebastian, we have to go. Sebastian, come on. I'm glad to be here. Ready for classes to start. Harrowing indeed. I'm still a bit on edge myself. And a little nervous for classes to start. Wait. Did you say most professors are firm but fair? You too, Everett. I take it we can call that a success. No wonder Sophronia wanted to see this. Glad to hear it. Let's let bygones be bygones, shall we? You played a good game. Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives. It was dreadful, certainly, but quite an experience nonetheless. It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest. Actually, Professor Fig told me about Wiggenweld Potion. Professor Fig does know a great deal about, different forms of magic. He did teach me a few things before term, but that's all I can tell you. It was nice to meet you, Samantha. Good luck with your dittany. Is it common practice for students to grow their own ingredients? You said Mr. Lawley was your ex-business partner. What were you working on? Why do you need Mr. Lawley's venomous tentacula in particular? What else is in Mr. Lawley's cellar? It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit. Yes, Natty. Yes, Sebastian. I'll be dueling solo. Yes, Natty. Yes, Sebastian. I'll go it alone. Where might this lead? I need to wake up that rune over there. Not surprising. Guards at the ready. This must be the way forward. But to where? Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me. Looks like another pensive up ahead. And that appears to be a giant statue of Professor Rackham. You can see Thestrals too. Ominous has. Let's go. I'll explain on the way, come on. I'm sorry we can both see Thestrals. I hope Professor Fig got my owl. I need to tell him and the keepers that Ranrock knows where the last repository is. Professor, you received my owl. Ranrock has the last of Bradbor's journals. He killed Loggok to get it. He knows where the last repository is. Very well. Thank you, Professor Bakar. I shall see you back in the map chamber. This must be the last artifact. I still have no idea what these are meant for. Now to return to the map chamber, and not a moment too soon. The caverns below Hogwarts where you fought Isadora. Is that the location of the final repository? All right, Professor. I'll see you soon. How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? What map? How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? Do you have any advice on how I can rescue more elusive beasts? Would you mind talking a bit more about what it was like working for your former master? How did you end up at Hogwarts after working for your former master? Ominous. I learned Imperio. I want you to know, we've made it this far, but clearly we have more to do. An enchanted loom. Happy to be here. It is good to leave the classroom now and then. I am too. You were speaking to a goblin here that day. It seemed as though you were on good terms with him. I was surprised that you seemed friendly with a goblin. In that case, I'd like to talk with him. About Ranrock in particular. Where might I find him? Thank you, Serona. Just before we came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. A portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage. There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. Thank you, Natty. No, actually, I wanted to speak with you. It's about Ranrock. I am, and I need to know what he and his loyalists are up to, so I can stay a step ahead. Hello, Lucan. I'm ready for practice. I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne. Serona trusts me, and she said she thought our interests may be aligned. Serona said our interests may be aligned. Perhaps she was wrong. Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it. We'll be expelled. I shall wait to hear from you then. One nudge and that chest might have fallen. A staircase leading here. Whatever for? Getting through the cavern can't have been the only challenge. Perhaps we should search for runes. A journal entry. Isadora was here. More than one. This journal entry sounds worrisome. Professor Shah, I'm interested in learning more about astronomy. Thank you. That's quite generous. Thank you. I'm listening. What precisely is the relic I'm to retrieve? Wizardkind sees things differently. It's a wonder goblins and wizards have ever been able to work together. They seem to be. I do have some questions about Ranrock and the helmet. I'll head there now. An entire camp of Rookwood's thieves. I might need assistance. This place can't have belonged to only Isadora. Another ancient magic passageway to the Undercroft. The final piece to the triptych must be here. I know from the memories I've seen that the Keepers and Isadora didn't see eye to eye on the use of ancient magic. Isadora must have honed her skill with ancient magic here. This is it. Perhaps you should have. Hello, Gareth. So, has your aunt been taking it a bit easier on you lately? I remember Armeet mentioning something about gobbledygook. Hello, Armeet. Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook? It is. His name is Lodgok. We could use your help with something. He's waiting for me near a goblin mine. Would you be willing to help? Here comes my friend Armeet. Probably best to continue our conversation later. Bragbor, why does Ranrock care so much about these repositories? What do you mean, repositories? Rookwood Castle. Hello, Samantha. Nice to see you again. Hello. You wanted to speak to me. Thank you, but it really wasn't all that challenging. You seem to be very determined in stopping Rookwood and Harlow. Why? That's all I wanted to know. Can't we just bypass Singer and go directly to the ministry? Lodgok is waiting. Shall we go? You said you know gobbledygook. But how well? Have you ever spoken directly to a goblin? Thank you for being willing to help me, Armeet. A friend who speaks gobbledygook is meeting us. Before he arrives, perhaps you could tell me why we're here. I'll go and experiment with the loom now. And what did you ask me to do with my magical materials? Yes, of course. Good to see you again. I've been wondering about something else you said before we entered the mine. A phoenix nest. I wonder if it belongs to the phoenix Natty mentioned, the one Harlow and the poacher pack are after. Hello. Do you have a moment? Hello again, Miss Wolf. Hello, Mr. Ollivander. I wondered if you might be able to help me with something. Yes, sir. I have them here. Have you and Professor Fig not discussed my training? Nothing more, Professor. What written plans? And why can't you come with us? Glad to hear it. I've met some interesting students in Hufflepuff. Hard-working lot, I gather. You're a Hufflepuff too. Always nice to see our house represented well. What did you discover in the spellbook we found in the scriptorium? Hello, Nellie. You seem excited about something. Perhaps I'll give it a go. The what keys? Why would I do that? Why would Professor Mole conjure flying keys? Is everything all right? Surely you'll be trying to complete the challenge as well. Could you remind me how the Daedalian keys work again? What am I to do, Professor Fitzgerald? So we have to get Anne to the catacomb and then conduct a sacrifice. Seems risky. We just need to get Anne to the catacomb and work out how to make a dark sacrifice. And we have to keep all of this from your uncle. If he goes to the headmaster, we could be expelled. Do you think your uncle would tell anyone at the ministry about all of this if he found out? Hello, sir. What do you sell here? Hello again, Imelda. Is your challenge still on the table? Sounds like you're speaking from experience. I can't do that, Amit. You might need it. Amit, you'll need to stay close to me. I've dealt with worse enemies than these. Keep your wits about you, Amit. I'll get you through this mine. We need to be careful. As I'm sure you know, not all goblins are as friendly as Lodgok, to say the least. Don't think I've found all the plans. I'd best keep looking. Let's get out of here and tell Lodgok what we've found. Surely my win means something. Ominous, it's my fault. I was wrong. I thought he'd stop. You were right. I do regret casting Imperio. I hope you can forgive me. I received your owl. Where's Sebastian? You did agree, and it did save your friendship with Sebastian. He won't listen to reason. Last time we were here, this place was crawling with spiders. Where was Sebastian when you and Anne found him? And there's no sign of Sebastian. Solomon threatened to go to the headmaster if he heard of Sebastian dealing with dark magic. The carvings on the relic were in theory, and Sebastian somehow created them. I've actually met Scrope, but I'm not sure he'll tell me. He's rather devoted to the Black family. I shall. I wonder where I should conjure their pen.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching. Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be. Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf? I assure you, Sharp, you may speak freely. Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it. But the injury, Madam Kogawa. Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
This isn't what it looks like. I can explain. Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now, to speak the password to the gargoyle. That must be the pedestal. I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book. What can I expect to find in the book? A simple stone. This must be for me. Sebastian, he did attack us. You had no choice. You went too far, Sebastian. Sebastian! Wait! Stop, Sebastian! Hold on! She mentioned dark magic, and even the Ashwinders. Has her imagination got the best of her? Sebastian! Over here! I said I'm taking responsibility, Sebastian. Do you want the relic or not? I should see this through and find the Hufflepuff house chest. I should see this through and find the Ravenclaw house chest. I should see this through and find the Slytherin house chest. Sylvanas Selwyn. Victor Rookwood is dead. He confronted me as I left Ollivander's with the Keeper's wand. I had to defend myself. I should hope that the enchantments protecting the castle would protect against an incursion from below. I should imagine so. Were you able to reach Professor Weasley? I wonder if Ranrock is here. You and I have faced worse, Professor. You will not take what is not yours! This drill stands between us and him. We need to move it. That sounds like trouble. You're no match for us. Another troll. Where are the other professors? Professor, that wall. That's the way forward. I fear you're right, Professor. There's nothing we can do but keep searching. What could be taking the other professors so long to get here? I hope you're right. We can use those against them. You'll never find what Ranrock wants. We'll show these beasts who's in charge. Look out! Another troll. This one's worse than the last two. We made it. I can't believe this is it. The repository has been under the castle for hundreds of years. Your timing couldn't be better, Professor Hecat. We couldn't be happier to see you, Professor Sharp. Let's see how you like it. Two can play at this game. How about a taste of your own power? Where did those come from? You won't get away from me that easily. You can't stop me. Ranrock, if you can hear me, your end is coming. How long are you going to keep up the charade? I need to avoid those. You can't run forever, Ranrock. You can't stop me, dragon. Ha! Don't like that very much, do you? I have you on the run, but you can't escape. This ends here, Ranrock. It's tearing this place apart. I need to steal its magic. Almost there. Why do you think you'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne? I can. Will I be able to weave even more powerful magic into my clothing with the loom? The white one. It's her. Aha. Found you. Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. What do I need to do, Deke? Sebastian, we need to go. Sebastian, a journal entry. We should look for more. Sebastian, ominous. We don't have a choice. You're right. You were right the entire time. We do have a choice. What good will it do to turn him in now? Understood. It is. Have you heard what Ranrock and Rookwood are working on together? You seemed unfazed by Rookwood and Harlow the other day. They don't scare you, but you're friends now. Might I ask you some questions, Serona? Surely this changes things. Ranrock has Bragball's journals and knows where the final repository is. Poachers! Garniff was right then. I'd better be careful. I retrieved a stolen helm that he hopes to return to Ranrock in order to regain his confidence. Another pensive. I wonder. Let's find out. If it weren't for me, I suspect those poachers would have flayed her alive. Biscuit is fine. As am I. I was able to rescue her without much incident. I'm glad she's safe now. I'm sure she'll be happy to go home. You can have her back. For the right price. That's it for the poachers. Now, to find Biscuit. All right, Biscuit. Let's get you back to Garnoff, shall we? She's all right. She said she was going to rest. This is my chance. I'm coming, Neve. I'd best move while I can. Neve must be here somewhere. I see. A staircase straight ahead. Death. A ladder. Perhaps they won't be able to find me if I go up there. Too many. I must cross this road as fast as I can. That doorway looks like the only safe way forward. Nothing this way but more danger. There must be another way to find you. I've seen Thestrals before, but where would I find a pair of them nearby? Perhaps that helm will yield some answers. This may have been a bad idea. Incendio! This way! I'm guessing the egg we have belongs to that dragon. Miss Willardsea, could you remind me what it is that you needed? Rookwood Castle? Let's get into that castle and have broken open some sort of container. Just tell me where I need to go. Sir, surely I've proven myself. In light of what's happened, perhaps you should tell me everything now. Sebastian! Sebastian! We're ready. Ominous and I found a compromise. I told him we ought to give you this chance, that the relic is too important to ignore. You need the relic. Ominous and I agreed. Surely there's a difference between casting Imperio on someone without their knowledge and casting it with permission. I've taken full responsibility. You have my word. The curse is lifted already. He'll easily find his way out of the catacomb, just as we did. He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in. Very well. Let me know when and I'll meet you. Why is it off limits? Hence the name. Nothing gets past you. He'll be all right, Sebastian. And yes, it is. As I'm sure you suspect, there is a bit more to all of this. And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam. I don't know. Why did the Keepers want to keep Isadora quiet? Why destroy her portrait? I certainly hope that's a good thing. I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing. You needn't threaten me. I'm not going to say anything about your Undercroft. You needn't threaten me. I'm not going to say anything about your Undercroft. Please, I was trying to defend him. He was clear that this was a secret place and I was to tell no one. He's a good friend, and Sebastian is a good friend. You shouldn't immediately assume the worst of him. Ominous, I just meant... Trust me, Ominous. I won't say a word. Trust me, Ominous. I won't say a word. I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her. Professor Howen mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the Ministry to help. You may be reading into it. Talking to people isn't a crime. That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something. How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths? Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps. I'm not sure that's such a good idea. The poachers seem a dangerous lot. I think that's a fine idea. Information is power. You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out? Considering the bones, I'll assume this is a tomb. I did. And because Jackdaw had followed the map they contained, when I found the pages, I found the location on the map. Believe it or not, it's a room below Hogwarts. I was hoping you'd say that. Oh, and we'll need to bring the book. I have, Professor Rookwood. Before the witch from the last pensive, Isadora, became a Hogwarts professor, she argued with Professor Rackham about using magic to remove pain. And this is my mentor, Professor Fig. Let's go. I don't think so. Ranrock is working with Rookwood. You and your friend Charles spoke of the portkey, and of trials you'd created for one who sees traces of ancient magic. His search. These pots and cauldrons haven't moved in ages. We did not, Professor. We encountered goblins outside the tower. It looks familiar. Perhaps your young friend is more well-travelled than you might think. Don't think I have. Perhaps your young friend is not as well-travelled as you think. I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone. Very well. Are you able to tell me anything about the next trial? You weren't much of a challenge. How interesting. I'm amazed I've never heard of her. She was just good at casting a spell. No wonder I've never heard of her. And you're a third year, so... I think he simply wants to show me something that involves gobbledygook. If it helps, he's a friend of Serona's. How else did he expect Goblinkind to get the helmet back? Seems he has no interest in making amends with you. You said this would repair the chasm between the two of you. How did you not expect him to react this way? If you share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me? Miriam, Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container. You think Ranrock murdered her? Thank you, Lodgok. for telling me this. Of course. I look forward to playing against you. Shouldn't you be preparing for your next class or helping a student? I had a good teacher. That's the last of Zenobia's gobstones. I should go and see her. She was, and she pulled emotions, as she did from her father, from Professor Fitzgerald, without permission. What's more, she said that she found a way to store the traces of magic she extracted in goblin silver. Lodgok and Ranrock were brothers. Lodgok was bringing the journal to me. Very well. I'm afraid I can't say. I didn't read the journals. Isadora told Bragbor about the magic when she asked him to build a container for her. I've seen her memories. I'm ready to finish Harlow once and for all. What is your plan? I'm eager to try it out. That sounds wonderful, Mr. Ollivander. What am I to do with the artifacts, Professor Rackham? Then I must go now and craft this wand. Perhaps Mr. Ollivander will help me. We are, and we were glad to help. I need to reposition that pillar to climb out of here. Perhaps the archway is the answer. Perhaps I can only move objects while I'm on the other side of the archway. I need to reposition the pillar whilst on one side of the archway so that I can climb it on the other side of the archway. That pillar is blocking the path. I'll need to move it. Is there any way to reposition this archway? If I arrange the archway correctly, I should be able to move the pillar and clear the path. I believe I need to proceed to the left here. But how? Perhaps I'm to hit the mark on the far wall. That sort of thing has repositioned the archways in the past. The bridges appear and disappear, depending upon which side of the archway I'm on. There's a pillar here, but no ledge near it for me to grab onto. Hitting those marks readjusts the archways. Perhaps there's a way forward from the other side of this one. Is it possible to pull one of those blocks through the archway? After pulling the block out through the archway, I can place it where it can be climbed on while on the other side of the archway. High Wing's fine. I'm keeping an eye on her. She's safe, Poppy, I promise. Very well. I'll retrieve the book right away. I'm a bit confused, sir. Why is this room called the map chamber? The statues and carvings in the house on the cliffside. Those are of you. Are you a seer? What more can you tell me about this place, Professor Rackham? Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office? Are you all right, Anne? I didn't mean to intrude. Any whisperings of anything going about the town? Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there. You said you had news about the poachers, and that some of it had to do with me. Only one way to find out. They don't scare me. I want to see whatever it is you need to show me. Sebastian! I've seen this before. The house, the well, the view. This well looks familiar. I found a pensive that day in the restricted section with a memory that showed this house. There was a little girl and a drought. The keepers have shown me other memories as well. The girl became a Hogwarts professor. Her name was Isadora Morganach. She was one of the keepers. Sebastian, this house did belong to a Hogwarts professor, hundreds of years ago. I can't be sure, of course, but I don't think so. I didn't see any traces of it around your sister. Sebastian, it's been a while. I don't know, but Fig and I think that Ranrock has somehow found a way to harness that magic's power. That's what we're trying to find out. Absolutely, sir. We aren't involved with them. If anything, we want to see them stopped. Please, we don't want any trouble. We're simply passing through. Not a fair one, though. Not with her chained up like that. Revelio. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic. I think so. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it. And I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it. And I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I know that's a lot to absorb. What do you mean, earn our way out? Do you think this is some sort of test? That glow again, but on the floor, that statue. I see some sort of statue, but only as a reflection in the floor. Professor Fig, hello? I do recall seeing the memory, but I don't remember all of the details. You too, Amit. Still smoking. They can't have been gone long. Why wouldn't they take their cages with them when they left? Pelts. Poor beasts. Into the forbidden forest for booba-tubers. I hope it's worth the risk. Ugh, that smells awful. Only 4 more, thank goodness. Just my luck. A troll. Now to see if Herodiana Byrne was as good as Sophronia said she was. I see. The switch reset everything. Good to know. That's the last of them. Seems I was a match for Herodiana Byrne after all. How's your gran doing, by the way? Surely she'll be pleased you've gone after the Snidgets. Ashwinders. I'd better find a way around them. Or perhaps through them. That's the last of them. For now. Now then, which one of you is Biscuit? Poachers. I need to be careful. Miss Willardsey will never believe where the butterflies led me. What do you mean you'd had enough and the worst was over? So this is the infamous absconder. Doesn't look like anyone's been down here in ages. Best keep moving. That did the trick. Aha! Got it. Something smells sweet. Must be close to Honeydukes. Just having a look around. Thank you. I'd like to ask you about your shop if you don't mind. I can't believe it. Rookwood's reign is finally over. I'll need to send an owl to Natty right away. Let's make them count. Impressive, especially with how little information he gave us. Well, we're here. We might as well have a look. Did you discover why people avoid this cave? The wisps of magic seem to be leading me somewhere. Ah, that's where they're leading me. That glow again. Did you need something, Poppy? Well done, Poppy. This did end up being the right cave after all. I'll know it when I see it. I've seen a wall like this before. It must be the way back. What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death?
I should think you'd have better things to do with your time. Ahem. Now, where's my elf?
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class? You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor. What will I learn in Charms class? Thank you, Professor Weasley. Hello again. Can you help me? Where can I find Jackdaw's head? Please could you explain the rules again? Revelio could be useful here. I have to believe that only a Slytherin would have been ambitious enough to get this far. I have to believe that only a Hufflepuff would have had the tenacity to get this far. I have to believe that only a Gryffindor would have had the courage to get this far. I have to believe that only a Ravenclaw would have had the intelligence to get this far. I wonder when Professor Fig will be back. I did promise him I wouldn't neglect my studies while he was away. My spells are having no effect on the dragon. It's feeding off the power from the repository. Aside from the bird bath, anything else I should look for? You've been very helpful. Thank you. Here it is. The map that brought your doom, Jackdaw. Is there something beyond this room? Yes, Professor. This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you. Expelliarmus ought to disarm you brutes. An unlocking charm. It's locked. Well, this isn't ideal. Professor? Not that I recall. What are they? Impressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward. Not an entanglement we need right now. Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle? It's Hogwarts. Let's take a closer look. You're good. Let's just say I'm a quick learner. Understood, Professor. Thank you, Professor. Can you tell me more about the potion shop, Professor? I'm not sure I have time for extra assignments, Professor. Lodgok's getting himself into more danger than he realizes. I'd better find him. Ranrock is here. I only hope Lodgok doesn't cross paths with him. I can end this right now. I have to destroy the drill and stop Ranrock's loyalists. I hope I can get to Ranrock before Lodgok does. Poor Lodgok. Dead by his brother's hand. No wonder he tried so hard to reason with him. I'll send word to Fig to meet me in the map chamber. He and the Keepers need to know Ranrock has that journal and knows where the final repository is. Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match. Of course, Professor. It was a challenging match. Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind. Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow, like the dragon collar. Shall we go? Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea. Where does this one lead? Off the beaten path, I suspect. No sign of Lodgok out here. He must be inside already. How am I being protected? What sort of magic is this? We're not alone. I'm a student at Hogwarts, sir. And this is Professor Fig. I received your owl. I was able to speak with Lodgok, the goblin I mentioned before. I believe he's trustworthy, yes. He seemed sincere. And Sirona Ryan trusts him. He seemed trustworthy. Difficult to know, really. But Sirona Ryan trusts him. Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section, as it appeared on the map. It was a book we were after. I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought. In the second, they were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too. I'd love to hear about how you and Highwing met. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to. We were around so many poachers in the tent. Were you not worried about being recognized? You've seen this before. Is the pattern they left behind on the ground normal? Could this actually be where the Snidgets are hidden? I'm ready if you are. You knew the poachers would try to kill Poppy and me. I don't suppose you'd like to start from the beginning. I think Poppy and I could use that. Thank you, Professor. I shall keep this second artifact safe, as you've advised. I'm ready for whatever comes next. What was the glowing stand that Isadora pulled from her father's chest? Thank you, Professor. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. You mentioned someone named Priya. It's you. A house elf named Scrope sent me. Said I might find a black family ring here. Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them. Unless what? I didn't keep you waiting, did I? What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking? What was she sending you? What kind of research is she doing? Unless what? There you are. You were in such a state when you left. What do you mean? Is she all right? What do you mean? There might be something here worth a closer look. A journal entry of Isadora's. I should hold on to this. I ought to look around before using the passageway. And I still have that rune symbol we found on the triptych. If there is a connection, I suspect we'll see that symbol again. We should wait. All this time, we've been a step behind Ranrock. I may know someone who could help us get ahead. Sebastian, that relic you mentioned. Suppose I have enough to distract myself with till he returns with the book. Did you know that I would be here? She was unnerved by Isadora's use of ancient magic. But I still can't be sure how any of it connects to Ranrock. I understand. Thank you, sir. I was thinking about needing a place away from prying eyes. Brilliant. What I need specifically is a place where I can catch up on my schoolwork without distraction. I see. Can I regain resources by vanishing something I've already conjured? The golden snuggery, the golden snidget, the snakebird, the Alihotzi draft, Felix Felicis, the pepper-up potion, the deathly hallows, Horcruxes, the founder's relics, the snitch, the bludger, the quaffle. True, false. I'd like to answer more questions. I don't have time for a quiz at the moment. Quiz? Professor Weasley asked me to, get something from that book. May I have it? A quiz sounds like fun. If that's the only way I can convince you to give me that book, then let's get it over with. You wanted to discuss my progress so far this term, Professor. I realize it's a lot to take in. I'm not even sure I understand it all yet. And no, not like Quidditch. There! I saw something! For now, though, I need to get back to the map chamber and tell Fig what's happened. If the triptych led us here to find this bit of canvas, we can probably assume that Isadora Morganach was here. I was trying to beat him at his own game. A taste of his own medicine. Are we weakening him at all? Are we weakening him at all? Took him long enough. He's faltering. The Wizards' Council. The International Confederation of Wizards, the Order of Merlin, Egbert the Egregious, Sir Agravain, Beatrix Bloxam, the Antipodean Opale, the Peruvian Vipertooth, the Ukrainian Ironbelly, Hengist of Woodcroft, Alfreda Clag, Quincy Hogg, a Lethervold, a Runespaw, a Demiguise, the Knockback Jinx, the Stunning Spell, the Patronus Charm, Gamp, Evangeline Orpington, Lavender Montmorency. Knowledge is the real magic. Never tickle a sleeping dragon. Look before you leap. The Basilisk, the Ashwinder, the Runespaw, Mount Greylock, the Pyrenees, the Amazon Rainforest. Elixir to induce euphoria. Viracitiserum, Amortentia. Give me your worst. I don't have time for another quiz at the moment. I realize that, but it's the right thing to do. He killed his uncle. The more I think about it, what good will it do to turn him in? Your fault. How so? Yes, sir, but I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. She caught me off guard. I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. I did my best, but I did try to evade her questions, though I feel a little deceptive. That said, I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming. I'm fairly certain she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming. Understood, Professor. You have a new spell to teach me, Professor. Blatching, haversacking, stooging, hairy ears, bad luck, webbed feet, Mimblus Mimbletonia, fluxweed, Sophophorus bean, Bowman Wright, basil flack, Linfred of Stinchcombe, a single slipper, his wand, a smaller pot, the Scottish Highlands, the Amazon Rainforest, North America, Sir Amset, Sir Luckless, Sir Lancelot, Galangantua, Pantagruel, the Loch Ness Monster, Ulick Gamp, Cadmus Peveril, Ethelred the Ever-Ready. That book Professor Weasley asked me to find should be around here somewhere. So this is the underground harbour. Well, it's been nice talking and competing with you. Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts? Is Wagadu a castle like Hogwarts? This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here? You can cast spells without a wand. Spells cast without a wand must be less powerful than those cast with a wand. It's nice to learn about another wizarding school. Something isn't right, Sebastian. No, not the memories, the portrait. I think the reason Isadora hasn't appeared is because she can't. We have seen that view before. The abandoned home in Felcroft, the destroyed painting. It was her. Yes, you're right. But I don't know how to do what Isadora did. I'm not sure that they would. The Keepers believe that removing someone's ability to feel pain, it's a highly complicated, unpredictable form of magic. One that should be wielded with great care, if at all. Speaking of the vault, do you think that Ranrock is working with any of the goblins at Gringotts? I wonder if I can hit the rune with a spell. I should use Reparo on this broken armor. She also mentioned that poachers have been active in the area, so perhaps the beast will be safer with us than out there on their own. All right. That's correct, Professor. I'm sorry about your moon calf, Mr. Perhaps I should find something to stand on. Why would I need a piece of toast? I suppose that's where it goes. This is quite a hideaway. Hello, Sophronia. That was quite the quiz you gave me. What are you up to now? Any beasts the room can't hold? Up! I'm all right at the moment. What sort of stand? They want something that Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts. I've never met Rookwood or Harlow. Perhaps they mistook me for another student. I've only met Highwing before. Poppy introduced us. Of course. What did the letter say? You seem quite interested in merpeople. Keeping things from Gran, are we? I did. I found something that I can't identify floating above the last pensive. We saw you in the pensive in Gringotts with Professor Rackham. You look familiar, sir. My studies. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I will look out for them. Yes, Professor. The Richard Jackdaw. So, Mr. Ollivander was right. He wants his family wand back. So, you stole a wand and then followed a map on some pages that you took from Peeves and followed that map to your doom. I don't really. Ollivander does. It's the pages I'm after. Might they be with the wand in the cave? What's happening? You wanted to see me, sir? I'm sorry to tell you that Victor Rookwood, evidently your descendant, is a dark wizard in league with Ranrock. You didn't see anything? Speak with anyone? And Ranrock knows about the Keepers. And, sir, they know you were a Keeper. Ranrock used the term. Very well, Professor. Tell me where I need to go. Hello, Professor. Did you say Sandbakar's tower? Good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair. And you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own. And you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock. That may be true. But shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow? I did, but something was missing. I'm not sure here is the best place to discuss it. I'm sorry to say that Jackdaw sold it long ago. I did. Thank you again, Scrope. You're a credit to House Elves. That ghost said I should blast away to my heart's content. I suppose there's nothing to be done but to obliterate these pumpkins. Seems simple enough. If I want to speak to Jackdaw about those pages, I'd better set to work destroying these pumpkins. I am only joking. I found the location depicted in the painting, and then I cast Lumos to guide a moth back to the frame. You should have worked it out on your own. Moths? Curious. Down I go. No other way. This has a moth imprinted on it. The same as the door. Perhaps some light will lead these moths to the door. I see. This is supposed to spin. But how? I know. Depulso should set this spinning. What's that hanging there? Looks precarious. I bet if I knock that down, it will open the way forward. Down below. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own. And the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well, good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair. And the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well. But why would he think that we had anything to do with poachers? He was certainly a charmer. I'm all right at the moment. All right. But how? The bridge Jackdaw mentioned. I must be going the right way. The waterfall. For a thief, Jackdaw's surprisingly as good as his word. Something oddly solemn about this place. Such regal creatures, stags. No risk those loyalists will report back to Ranrock now. Let's see where Jackdaw has led me. Thank you, Professor. I look forward to stargazing. Oh, no. Not this close to the school, Emmett. A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about. Nothing to do now but keep going. Are you certain you don't want to come the rest of the way? Hello, Grace. Can I help you? There's something back there beyond the wall. How do I get back there? Whatever Jackdaw left for Anne must be back there, beyond this wall. A note from Jackdaw. Anne never found it. So how did he die? Was she to blame at all? The Richard Jackdaw. I heard you disappeared years ago. You have some explaining to do. Those candles must be important. I see. There must be something to the arrangement of the candles. The candles correspond to the handles I'm to pull in order to open the way forward. Accio should do the trick. Understood. I shall keep an eye out. How many statues are there to find? You mentioned offering something in exchange for my assistance. I don't mean to be grim, but could Harlow have taken him? He must be around here somewhere. When did you last see him? Do you know which way Archie might have gone? We'll find your son, Mrs. Bickle. Archie's satchel! Why would he leave it behind? What did Officer Singer say about the letter you brought her? I managed to rescue a puffskein. I rescued a jobberknoll. It was a bit trickier than the others, but I have a mooncalf now. I imagine the desk of description will come in handy. Hello, Scrope. Thanks to you, I was able to enter Apollina's grotto. The toast was the key. I met a ghost there, Richard Jackdaw, who's agreed to lead me to the pages I've been looking for. Your mother sent us to find you. We're so sorry, Archie. We won't let him get away with it, but first we need to get you home to your mother. We wouldn't have it any other way, Archie. Now, let's get you home. We know a safe way back. Your husband's friends may be in danger. How can we help? I'm sorry again about your husband, Mrs. Bickle. It may be too late for that. I'm afraid Harlow's already after us. We don't want to worry you. There is. I've seen symbols like these before. I need to find all of them, then cast at them quickly in succession. What was it you needed me to do, Scrope? Wait, Professor. The name Rookwood. Do you think... What is this? The vaults seem to go on forever. Hello, Lenora. Could you remind me what's so special about that empty painting? That wasn't so bad, was it? Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with Lodgok. They're building enormous drills. We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories. I'm glad you came with me, Amit. Now that we know what they're up to, we can get out of here. I'll get us through here safely, Amit. You have my word. Stay close. I've handled much worse. That should be the last of them, Amit. There must be a quicker way out of here than retracing our steps. We're almost out of here, Amit. Look, the lift. She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from? She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now. We're making good progress. We can't quit now. I'll start on the task right away, Professor. Why must I first complete tasks to learn Reparo? This is the right area. I wonder where the flying page is. A flying page must be around here somewhere. Seems crossed wands isn't as secret as it's believed to be. I got here as soon as I could. What's going on here? I've decided to open the repository. Its power cannot lie dormant for centuries more. I plan to keep the repository as it is. Isadora knew she had a remarkable power to help people. I intend to use my ability to finish her work. Build upon it. Isadora wasted her ability trying to save people from themselves. I will not let others dictate what I do with this. My power. The Keepers were right. The risk of using this magic is too dangerous. It is my responsibility alone to keep it safe. I plan to keep it a secret for now, but in time, when I'm ready, I plan to tell those I trust everything and accept their help. The dragon that attacked my carriage was wearing a collar, and Professor Fig was genuinely baffled by its behavior. Rookwood is working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts. If it's all right with you, I'd rather not say, at least not at the moment. I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that. Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget? Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden? Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers? What is it? Are there other empty paintings like this around the school? If I have the time, I may look. Could be intriguing. All right, very well. I'll speak with them. See what I can learn. What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people? May I ask you about Mr. Bickle's friends? Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him. You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened? I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again. But do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer? Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow. Please, sir, I would like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle. Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down. Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him. What do you mean? Why? I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe. We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends. I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty. Now to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hogshead. Perhaps I'll find her there. Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. A hidden door. I don't see a way to open the door. Whatever gave her that idea? Poachers were here. All sorts of evidence. But I found something else. It's goblin-made. Is this where we're meeting the centaurs? Once we tell them about the Snidgets, they'll understand why we came, and they'll want to help. I'm not sure about this. I can't imagine they're fond of being surprised. And you think Peeves ripped those pages from the book I found in the restricted section? With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this. Sebastian mentioned something about your uncle being an ex-Auror, but refusing to go after Ranrock's loyalists. I must say, I wasn't prepared for him to be as angry as he was. Look, down there. All right, I have the egg. Unless you want your classmates to know how you really feel about them, you might reward me for my time. Here you are. This must be Cressida's diary. I'd want this back too if I were her. Seems as if I should hang something there. These lanterns must belong somewhere. Perhaps the lanterns are meant to be hung on the hands. That was the wrong square. I wonder if the chess pieces on the board indicate where I can't go. Perhaps I can find a way to reveal the path. How many more of these mannequins are there? Match wits. Just to sign a contract. This is what you call matching wits. Professor Sharp, do you have a moment? That seems a bit more dangerous than teaching potions. That sounds positively exhilarating. May I ask what happened? You knew exactly where I was going when I entered that chest. Hello, Penny. Very well. I shall agree to your contract. With one small addendum. I did. In order that I have a successful shop with lots of customers, would you agree to causing chaos only after 9 o'clock in the evening? I would. Cassandra Mason! Was she behind all of this? Penny, I found an item of clothing in the dungeon that I'd like to give you. I look forward to working with you. Penny, you're free. You can do anything you've ever wanted to. Actually, it's nothing. Let's get the shop going. Professor, do you have a moment to speak again? Was it due to a particular interest in potions? Was it due to an injury suffered during your time with the Ministry? You're seeking to heal the damage done to your leg? Indeed, sir. Thank you for your time. And I do hope you find a cure for your injury. Professor, do you have time to chat? Some of the professors may not agree with your approach, and that's why you teach the way you do. I'm sorry to hear that, sir. It sounds as if your experience as a student was less than ideal. I'll do my best, Professor. Thank you for the advice. Professor, what did you mean when you said your education wasn't traditional? I, for one, am glad. I very much enjoy your class. I myself feel studying is worthy of a more serious approach. Haven't you any friends at school? I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Well, that's one of Zenobia's gobstones. I hardly see what all the fuss is about. Just one more gobstone. I'm so sorry. I understand you've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's to no avail. It could be that you've not yet discovered the cure. Perhaps the healers don't know everything, sir. Sebastian is single-mindedly focused on finding a way to help his sister. If there is a cure, he will find it. I understand what you're saying, sir. With all due respect, sir, hope could keep Anne's spirits up. Both Anne and your uncle seem genuinely convinced that nothing more can be done for her. Sylvana Selwyn? I thought Victor Rookwood headed up the Ashwinders. Where is Clagmar Castle? What's so dangerous about the Ashwinders? There's Selwyn. I wonder if I can pull his guards away. If that's what you want to do, Penny, then nothing would make me happier. I'm genuinely glad you'll be staying on. I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders. I wonder how everyone knows about it. I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided? The cave must be somewhere in this maze. I wonder what else is in here. I shall look forward to it. Hello? Were you calling me? Perhaps you wouldn't be who you are without that experience. This stairwell looks promising. It's not your fault, Natty. There's nothing you could have done to prevent it. I'm sorry, Natty. I wish there was something I could do to help. I agree, Natty. We'll get them. I've never seen someone so committed to a cause. Professor Weasley wanted to speak with me after class. Harlow knows that we saved Archie, and that we rescued Mr. Rabe. The letter didn't come from Mrs. Bickle, did it? I don't know if we should be rushing into this. Agreed. Let's finish this. Fair point. All right, let's go. But she warned us to stay out of it. Was rather adamant about it. Perhaps we ought to inform Officer Singer of our plans. I'd better watch my step here. Where do you suggest I search first? No, they didn't. Rookwood and Harlow are after me. Professor Fig told me to keep things quiet. but I know I can trust you, Natty. Rookwood and Harlow want something Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts, just before I came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. The portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage. I think that was all of them. It is a little strange we haven't heard anything from them. I hope we haven't kept you waiting long, Doran. We do. What makes you say that? So many books. Whoever built this place certainly liked to read. Your gran would love it here. Not Doran. That's for certain. Always armed and ready for a fight, Ranrock's loyalists. Where is he? That platform is just out of reach. I can use Accio on that platform below. I see a platform below. I wonder if I could use it. I'm glad to see you're doing so well. I am sorry, Natty. It's my fault you got hurt. You did what came naturally. You quickly made the choice to protect me. Then I shouldn't feel guilty? From what I know of him, it seems there's a lot of your father in you. Everything is safer now because of us. Because of you. Hello? There's a voice coming from that well. There's something about that tree. That spot must be a clue. I should look around in case it's nearby. The candles seem to be leading into the Forbidden Forest. Treasure must be nearby. Treasure hunting suits me. Good. Different. I sensed a sort of surge of some kind. I believe so, sir. Why did our meet tell Madame Scribner that they were your books? Hello, Cressida. I collected your books, including your diary. Sounds as if Sylvana Selwyn has to go. That's it for Selwyn. I should go and see Madame Olivier back in Cragcroft about that bounty. Why would someone risk their life for spider venom? Believe me, I am having thoughts, but I'm still convinced we should go ahead. I see no reason we should stop now. Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them. I'll need to get those dried billywig stings for Gareth if he's to finish his latest concoction. You want me to follow the butterflies? Very well. If I have time, I shall see where they lead. What were the horrible stories you were told about the Forbidden Forest? It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard. It sounds as if her astrolabe is just northeast of the dock. I should dive down and see. I did, thank you. In fact, we're working together to try and rein in Ranrock. Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something. Why does Mrs. Spruttle keep a supply of Wiggenwield potion on hand? Why did Mr. and Mrs. Spruttle have your box of letters after all this time? Are you all right? We're looking for Mr. Bickle. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Bickle. Who killed your husband? I suspect he'll keep running if he's being followed. Is this Mr. Bickle's home? Without Revelio, we'll have no hope of finding him. Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders? I don't think so. Let's go. Ranrock is working with Rookwood. Where can I find this statue? Mrs. Sprottle told me a little more about your brother, Bardolph. Could Bardolph have run off? I suppose I should start at the forest, north of the hamlet. Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill. Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle. One of Ranrock's camps. Exactly as Madame Beaumont described. A troll on the loose near a hamlet. That could be devastating. She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion. I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle. Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle. Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now, where to find Mrs. Sprottle? This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. Better have a look around. See about the hawk lumps and the box of letters. Better have a look around. See if I can find that box of letters. That's at least one hawk lump. Getting there. Just a few more hawk lumps to harvest. Almost there. One more hawk lump to harvest. Ah, that's all the hawk lumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether. One camp down. One more to go. Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that. I managed to catch them off guard. The Troll Slayer has a nice ring to it. The Troll Vanquisher. Suppose I did earn the title. The Troll Whisperer. Seems fitting. This must be Sirona's box of letters. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back. I should find Mrs. Sprottle. She'll be glad to get these hawk lumps. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back. It almost seems as if it wants me to follow it. I need to find it before the poachers do. Where did you say the box of letters was again? Where did you say I should go to harvest the hawk lumps and find the box of letters? Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like? Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. I have good news. I was able to harvest some hawk lumps for you, and I found Sirona's box of letters. Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters. Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off? Good idea. Those cabbages are nothing to be trifled with. You sent crates of cabbages? to battle Ranrock's loyalists. Nice to meet you. Any idea where I might find the crates? I'm sorry that we both can see Thestrals, Deke. What do you mean, to blame? It sounds to me as if your master got what he deserved. What a horrible tale, Deke. I'm so sorry. Is there anything your brother took with him that might help to track him down? We need to get this open. Ashwinders are everywhere. We can't let them know we're here. These look like the ruins Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. This must be where Bardolph was last seen before he disappeared. Is that Inferius wearing a woolly jumper? That must be Bardolph. An entry from Bardolph's journal. He overheard whispers. A plan, something to do with him. Bardolph's woolen jumper. I'm not sure Madame Beaumont would want to know what really happened to him. This mentions Inferi. And something about it being Bardolph's turn next. Looks like someone's belongings. Perhaps Bardolph's. May I ask you something, Mrs. Bickle? Is there anything more you can tell me about Harlow? What reason would Harlow have to kill your husband? Could you remind me what I'm to do with the Thestrals, Deke? Sounds quite the array of brooms. I'll have a look around, thank you. What sort of plants should I expect in the hidden herbology corridor? Where am I to find these friends of his? Some evidence worth hanging on to. Natty must be around here somewhere. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Mr. Abe's wand could be in there. Mr. Abe's wand! He'll be glad to have this back. Gareth? Never mind. Ominous. The journal mentions many challenges ahead. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, they've also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble. A mooncalf is an unusual pet. Why did you choose Biscuit? Can't wait to explore a bit more myself. Seems the Highlands go on forever. I confess I was surprised when Professor Weasley mentioned that you knew the area, since you're relatively new here. You're welcome. Happy to be of assistance. The armband that guard was wearing was glowing. I have to say, I enjoyed that. Sebastian told me a little of what happened when you were young. Sounds as if you had no choice. How would you know? Perhaps another time then, sir. Thank you. I saw an aura badge on your desk and was wondering if you could tell me more about your time as an aura. Why did you leave your position as an aura to come to Hogwarts? Perhaps another time then, sir. Thank you. I wondered if I might ask how long you've been teaching at Hogwarts. Apologies, Professor. Perhaps another time. Professor, may I ask you something? Apologies, Professor. Perhaps another time. I shall have to keep a lookout for more of these. I wonder how many there are. Revelio will show me where she was taken. Professor, I saw an aura badge on your desk. May I ask about your time as an aura? May I ask what led you to accept a position at Hogwarts after your career as an aura? Professor, I wondered if I might ask how long you've been teaching at Hogwarts. Professor, what did you mean when you said your education wasn't traditional? But now we have the upper hand. We can prepare. I see Doran finally convinced you to leave the Snidgets. Of course. It's the sort of thing friends do for each other, isn't it? You can always count on me for a fight when it comes to poachers. Had you never been to the Three Broomsticks? Highwing is nice company, but perhaps it's time to add a few more friends to your circle. Nothing wrong with that. Highwing's good company. Speaking of secrets, I do want to tell you why Victor Rookwood's after me. He's working with Ranrock. That's right. We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us. Who value creatures as much as... That's a good idea. We need to see this through, must we? Seems a lot of trouble to go to for a creature we've already rescued. Exactly. I don't know. But I am inclined to believe him. What with his being a centaur and all. He could have been a bit clearer, or stayed a moment and answered our questions. Isn't Moonstone all around us? Why retrieve one from a cave? That's what the leader of the herd called him. Why are you fixated on Gwenaira and not rescuing all the Diracals? Can you tell me what the Diracal den looks like? Miss Moffat, could you remind me what you needed me to do again, please? Seems these journal entries are from Isadora's travels. You may have shared Mr. Bickle's fate if you had spoken out against Harlow, as he requested. If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now. Mr. Filbert, would you mind repeating what Harlow did to you? I want to understand correctly. Revelio ought to make quick work of this. You said Jackdaw's ghost appeared briefly, then vanished. Where do you think he went? I don't blame her for being concerned. We have been involved in some dangerous activities. If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we've provided? I don't think Doran would knowingly send us into danger. Whatever it is, it had better have to do with Snidgets. Natty, is everything all right? For better or for worse, we're in. Can this be? I think I'm invisible. I've never felt such power. How do you track a dragon long after she's gone? Well done. You certainly know what you were doing. We can, but perhaps best not to tell anyone else about this for now. even ominous. I think we're going to be a bit distracted from runes for a moment. Ranrock's loyalists never knew to look for it. A cavern within a cavern. I'm intrigued. Isadora and Percival Rackham, another of the keepers, could see traces of ancient magic too. I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best. They call themselves keepers because they're protecting some type of knowledge. It all has to do with the vault at Gringotts. It is all a bit much, isn't it, when you put it like that? The point is, we both have good reason to search this house. You for answers about what happened to Anne, and me for answers about the keepers. Fair enough. I can see the Undercroft through this stone wall, as though it's a window. This has happened before. That's true. And I'm still not sure what it all means. What I do know is that my ability allows me to travel through these windows, I see. There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I think so. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I know that's a lot to take in. Thank you, Professor. The extra assignments have been helpful. I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own stationery. He knows something about those demiguise moons. Pardon me, sir, but about those curious demiguise statues I've seen. They're quite clever. They're causing Mr. Moon terrible distress. Mr. Moon does a good deal for the school, and he's taught me a lot. He's terrified of those statues. He is a bit much for a caretaker, but he means well. And he's terrified of those statues. It was an old schoolmate of yours, Piers Pemberton. I don't think he likes being called that. Yes, him. That's the one. True. Perhaps this triptych will lead us to answers. I'm glad to hear it. I'm not certain I needed all the extra assignments. Give me a moment. I'll explain in a second. Perhaps the book Professor Weasley wants me to get is upstairs. That's incredible. You know this area well. Do you think there's a connection to the triptych? Perhaps we could simply enjoy this victory for a moment. I suppose so. But if she was using the Undercroft and the cellar beneath her manor in Feldcroft, why would she create this space? Here are some of the memories I've seen. I don't think he and Isadora saw eye to eye on how this magic should be used. And the bad news? It's clear from her journal that Isadora Morganach was here. Are you finished with the drawing? Agreed. I'm ready to leave if you are. That sounds a fine idea. But I would like to look around a little before we leave. I suppose it is rather late, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, please. I'm ready to leave if you are. Not just yet. I'm still looking around. The passage ends here. There must be a way through. Could I use a spell to move some of these barrels? Each of these barrels needs to be pulled up to the line on the floor. I don't understand. What can I do to help? The Grey Lady. I'd say hello, but she doesn't seem particularly social. A moth. Curious. Moths are attracted to light. I ought to see how the moth reacts to Lumos. This is a bit more complicated. There must be another moth nearby. I ought to stand on the pillar as it ascends. The floor looks a little weak here. Perhaps the only way forward is down. I ought to use the crate to break through the floor here. This looks even more complex. Making this spin ought to raise that platform. That must be it. I need to bring moths to the door. What did that burst of magic do? Perhaps I should examine things from both sides of the archway. The room changes when I move in and out of the archway. I can see a way out on one side, but when I pass through the archway, it's blocked by a wall. What did that burst of magic change on both sides of the archway? Something must be different. I need to see how the room changes when I move in and out of the archway. So that's it. I need to use both sides of the archway to get the platform to the other side of the bridge. Now to see what's changed on each side of this archway. Things are definitely different on either side of the archway. But how? What if I stood on one platform and used Accio on the other? That ought to work. Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest? I wonder what's under these vines. I should use Incendio to burn these vines away. I should be able to burn away these webs. Incendio ought to make quick work of these webs. I can shoot the symbol, but it doesn't stay lit for long. I need to light all three before they time out on me. Oh, behind the rock. There's the symbol. I'll need to look around for the symbol. Perhaps the next symbol is hidden somewhere. Perhaps it's under the platform. Thank you for your help, Deke. We're being watched. By a door. We won't get through as long as we can be seen by that eye. I should use disillusionment. That eye won't see a thing. The door is looking at us. We need to break its line of sight somehow. Disillusionment should get us through that door. We'll need to get across this gap somehow. There ought to be something around here to help cross the gap. Accio ought to bring that platform closer. That could help bridge the gap. Another boiler. But it's not boiling. This should work the same way as the last one. Incendio should get this boiler working. It was a classmate of yours that you bullied. Piers Pemberton. I need to keep going forward somehow. What can I use to make my way through here? Accio should bring that platform right to me. I wonder where these pipes go. Those pipes must power something around here. Incendio ought to light the boiler and provide some power to these machines. Another boiler. Crafty goblins. If this is anything like last time, I need to fire up this boiler to supply power to the pipes. Incendio will light this. Then I can move along from here once and for all. I have to find a way to stop that drill. The pillars are weakening. Destroying the pillars will bring the ceiling down on the drill. No, Sebastian, I haven't. You're not listening to me. He's in Hogsmeade, apparently. Perhaps I shall pay him a visit. Mr. Moon, I've learned who's behind the demiguise statues. There must be something here that I need. Perhaps something here belongs in the portrait frame. Perhaps I should try casting Lumos near that moth. I should check the map again for clues. One more to go and I'll make it across. Something is getting in the way of that platform. Perhaps I should cast Accio to get that frame out of the way first. Professor, what made you want to teach herbology? Oh dear. A shame for him, but it worked out well for you. What a string of bad luck. Fair bit of bad luck there, I'd say. I'm glad everything worked out as it did, and that you're the herbology professor now. I had no idea. How awful. Professor Garlick, a moment of your time? I was wondering, what made you want to teach herbology? Apologies, Professor. Perhaps later. Professor, I was wondering where you're from. What's your background? That sounds lovely. All the sights and bustle of a city. Forgive me, I was sure you must have been raised in the countryside. Professor, may we speak again? I was curious to know more about your background. Actually, now isn't the best time after all. During class, you mentioned the Toyohashi Quidditch team, but it wasn't your fault. You didn't know about the potion in the tea. Professor, do you have a moment? In class, I heard you mention the Toyohashi Quidditch team. Sorry, never mind. There's something intriguing about that tree. Perhaps I could get that tree to move. Casting Leviosa ought to raise the tree out of the ground. More crystallized stone. That must be the way back to the map chamber. Another pensive. More traces of ancient magic. Something must be different. Each side is different somehow. I must remember to examine these archways from both sides. The room around me has changed again. When I pass through the archway, I enter another room entirely. A new room. Orders. Directly from Ranrock. Perhaps these blocks can be moved. These blocks must be moved in order for me to climb up. I should try casting Depulso to move those blocks. I need to move the blocks into place to jump this gap. Perhaps I should get the blocks back to the starting position. Perhaps casting at that object over there will help somehow. That platform looks like it ought to get me where I need to go. Ominous. Sebastian meant well. I suppose I should watch for Gwenaira. At night, apparently. Sounds as if she needs rescuing. I know the perfect place. Seems you're more concerned with the feathers than the bird. But she'd be safer with you than with poachers. It doesn't work like that. To access each of these memories, I have to complete a trial. It's not as easy as you think. They're showing me the memories in a particular order. Of course I care, Sebastian. We've come this far. Don't let your frustration get the better of you. I do care about Anne. But I'm tired of explaining myself. Perhaps we should part ways. We don't have a choice. I know. Now, shall we see why the triptych led us here? All right. Listen to me. I know you're angry and frustrated, but charging ahead now could undo all the progress we've made. Lodgok said, "Stop it, that's enough. Not all goblins are like Ranrock. I am not the enemy. We want the same thing, to find answers. We do. Listen to me. Lodgok has insights into Ranrock that we don't. Good. Ranrock clearly knows more than we thought. We need to be careful and do this right, not just go charging in. They attacked you. I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble. And you're not who I thought you to be. Based upon your diary, you seem terribly judgmental. I wouldn't do that to you, Cressida. Only trying to teach you to be a little more careful. There must be some sort of clue on the painting itself. I wonder what casting Accio on that ring atop the painting would do. Are you concerned she might tell your mother? That I do. He told me that Ranrock somehow knows about the Keepers and is searching anywhere connected to each of them. That's why they always seem to be one step ahead. I know what I'm doing. You need to trust me, or I don't see that we can continue together. We have our work cut out for us. We need to work together if we're going to find the final piece to the triptych. Now to get out of this blasted place. But I don't understand why she seems to have gone to such great lengths to tell her story without their knowledge. So do I. Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office. Now, to Freon's carts. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned. So how do you already have Polyjuice Potion to change into Professor Black?
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Interesting way to hide some treasure.
Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer. Bah! That's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. I say, why don't you bring a sample of your next batch to my office? I'd like to give it a try. What was that, Broom? Obviously. Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me. Professor Weasley, how delightful to see you. Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig. I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time. Well, yes. He's handling some official ministry business for me. I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful. Good. That'll be all, Weasley. Professor Weasley. Good day.
The final canvas piece of the triptych. We've done it.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
This door must need power from something. Looks as if there are pipes leading to it. If I light the boiler, the door should open. Imperio! Step aside, Ominous. Stay in place until we're out of sight. Young? I know. You must be Professor Bakar. Pleased to meet you. The pensive memory I just witnessed. Was Isadora inhaling painful emotions? I was amazed to see that it seemed to give her some sort of power, and that she could harness it. But how? I found it disturbing. But how did she gain power from it? How did she harness it? I can assure you, Professor, I do. In fact, what you don't yet know is that a dangerous goblin called Ranrock has accessed the repository at Rookwood Castle. He has learned to harness the contents of it as a source of immense power. He plans to use that power against wizard kind. We have no time to waste. Possibly. There's something I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier. Ranrock has been digging at locations tied to the 5 names he found in the journals of a goblin metalworker named Bragbor. Precisely. That's how he's been one step ahead of us. Gringotts, the Tower, Rookwood Castle. Perhaps. I hope to hear from Lodgok soon. I haven't heard anything since I learned of the drills. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search.
I realise that, and I'd like to keep it that way.
You ought to be more cautious in the future. Men like Rookwood and Harlow could do much worse than stealing a book. Centaurs aren't known for being the friendliest lot, especially not with wizard kind. And not right now. Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realise. How charming. They keep in touch with each other. Watch your step. If your grand's all right, and they didn't get the egg, then perhaps we're fine. It looks as if a way out has appeared in one of the rooms. Once again, this archway allows me to step between completely different rooms.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot.
Thank you, Professor. Professor Fig has encouraged me to explore when I can, in an effort to complete my field guide. Not at all. I was merely interested in learning more about the Aura program. I saw Professor Sharp's Aura badge and was intrigued. Not at all. I enjoyed talking to Mr. Ollivander. I'm fascinated by wand lore, and I'd never visited the Owlery. Bit of a mess. Not at all. I was intrigued by stories of a giant squid and wanted to learn more. I encountered Scrope, who seemed delighted to share what he knew. Not at all. I'm fascinated by ghosts and, food, and I was interested in learning more about the castle and the surrounding area. That must be the way to the repository. More of them! This one's almost down! Professor! More trouble ahead. After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Arn. Past the ruins. I'm on the right track. Those traces of magic are somehow protecting the dragon. That did the trick. I have you now, Ranrock. I know you're feeling it now, Ranrock. You've protected yourself again. Not for long. 2 sources of power. There's nowhere to hide now, Ranrock. I will defeat you. In Lodgot's memory. This is for Professor Fig. Not so powerful now, are you, Ranrock? This is the end. You monster. I need to break its connection to those traces of magic. I imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacular would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery. I suppose being an aura is dreadfully dangerous. I'm sorry. Well said, Professor. If it truly is fate, seems there's not much you can do about it. I'll not let fear dictate my future either. I'm nearly finished. Only one more vase. Her memories showed what she did for her father, which I also saw in Professor Rookwood's pensive, and a conversation with Bragbor in which she expressed frustration about the limits being placed on her use of ancient magic. Quite an enchantment. The carts are returning to Arn. Sounds like Feldcroft's in trouble. Perhaps I should try to help. That crate of Chinese chomping cabbages is somewhere in this camp. Ranrock's loyalists are hiding out near Feldcroft. They must have the other crate of Chinese chomping cabbages. That's all of the crates of Chinese chomping cabbages. I'd better go and see Mr. Thistlewood's friend in Feldcroft. That's 1 crate in hand. I only need 1 more. The ones I faced were determined to make things difficult. I managed to free your carts fairly easily. Poppy, something's going on behind you. What now? She didn't exactly leave us a calling card. We aren't helping ourselves standing here. Let's get to safety. We can sort this out later. Since the dragon we freed flew off, does that mean we get to keep the egg? Should we expect trouble from the poachers? Given the trouble we just caused, it seems Arn's whole life is in those cards. I hope I can find them. I take it this means you had some luck at the library. I also know the promise, Professor. With all I have learned, I can avoid making the same mistakes as Adora did. I can learn to wield this magic for good. No, you're right. I haven't forgotten. The cost is too high. Perhaps this magic is best kept contained. Professor! That will be all. Thank you for your time. I agree, Natty. We'll get him. I've never seen someone so committed to a cause. It's good to see you again, Doran. Did Poppy tell you about everything that's happened? What is it? Professor Weasley's tasks are complete. I should attend Transfiguration. I don't suppose you've heard anything from your parents, have you? Does your gran know that we found the Snidgets? It has all been a pleasure, Poppy. Do try and stay out of trouble. There's the Hogwarts Express! Must be returning from an unscheduled run. Best keep that little maneuver between us, Highwing. Looks as if there's more than one way to enter. And that's when you took over as the herbology professor. Have I not proven myself, Professor? I need to get to that repository before Ranrock does. So the repository is safe from Ranrock for now. I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered. I suppose they are known for having an air of omniscience. I hope they can tell we're sincere, but... Poppy, centaurs are just... centaurs. They can't read your mind any better than I could. Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades. I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered. Do you think the pages were left here on purpose? Now, here's a new challenge. Rickety Bone Bridge complete. I need to find a safe way across. Perhaps moving piles of bones towards the center will help. I believe I need to use Accio on the bone piles. Sebastian, the relic! Look! Imperio. It was the only way to get out of here without a fight. We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word. I did. But with his consent, Sebastian. It may seem an irrelevant difference, but it is a difference. What a nice idea, Arn. I wish you luck with it. I'm not sure that's worthy of a painting. What did you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you? Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and Fig had asked that I not speak of it yet. And Ranrock's after something I found at Gringotts. Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and... Fig asked that I not speak of it yet. We'll simply be honest with them about what we're trying to do. They'll have to help us, won't they? Didn't the journal say the key to finding the Snidgets lies in the moonlight? Professor, could you spare a moment? I'm interested in the goblin rebellions of the past. Apologies, Professor. Perhaps later. But Hogsmeade was just attacked, Professor. Thank you for your time, Professor Binns. Please, go on. Well, it appears I'm out of time. Thank you, Professor. Oh yes, Professor. Please, continue. Not exactly, Professor, but I must be on my way. If you would be so kind, Professor Binns. On the contrary, you've been most helpful. Goodbye. I find your lectures quite engaging, sir. Thank you for sharing your vast knowledge. Good luck with Ominous. Until we meet again. There's Sebastian. I need to find a way up that ledge. Perhaps I need to open the sarcophagi. I need to move the bones and make a bridge. I can't let him leave. Control? I had to fight him, Fury, all the way. I'm afraid I don't follow. Can you tell me more about these courses? Well, surrounding the Moonstone with birds that can drive people mad would certainly be one way to keep it safe. I don't know. I've been listening to them for a while now, and I'm starting to lose my mind. That sounds intriguing. I'll see what I can do. Sounds as though you took Kagawa's class. How long have you had a passion for brooms? Why didn't you tell me this before? After all our time together, I'm glad you told me. If the demand for potions is as high as you say, have you considered being easier to work with? Perhaps combining your recipes and skills? I'd rather not, but if you insist, so be it. I wondered about some of the letters in the box. One of the letters mentioned Quidditch practice. Did you play? I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick? I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together. Ranrock's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet? Yes, Professor, of course. Hello, Adelaide. I received your owl. Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl. Hello, Adelaide. You've still not heard from your uncle. I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble. I'm not convinced you need to worry. Perhaps your uncle's been delayed. And surely he can take care of himself. Has your uncle traded with many goblins? I think I'll just have a look around for now.
Ahem. Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the noble banners of Gryffindor. I shall be taking no questions at this time, or ever. Ahem. Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the stunning banners of Slytherin. I shall be taking no questions at this time, or ever. Ahem. Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the dignified banners of Hufflepuff. I shall be taking no questions at this time, or ever. Ahem. Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the elegant banners of Ravenclaw. I shall be taking no questions at this time, or ever.
It does, somewhat. But at the moment, I'm more concerned about what else you heard the poachers are up to. Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river. I heard the Ashwinders were causing trouble around here. Mr. Oakes's trade journal. What will we find in here? It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before. You mentioned you overheard things. I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you. A boiler door. How to open it? A furnace. Could be promising. I should try lighting that furnace. It must be connected to the boiler door. Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes. I need to find Mr. Oakes's wand. Where could it be? Am I right that you speak gobbledygook? What do you sell? I've already caught at least one of them. I wasn't sure what they were for. I actually found them all and opened the chest. I found a rather interesting costume. Hello, Nellie. Actually, I've found all of the keys and opened my house chest. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Pippin. Delivering those potions was a bit more work than I'd expected. I'd like an additional fee. By the way, I found this book of potion recipes in Cambridge. Might it be useful to you? I found a rather interesting costume. This must be the cellar. Now, to find that venomous tentacula. I think Biscuit will be safer with me, Garnuff. If you're certain you can keep her safe, I suppose I can leave her with you. Biscuit is clearly not safe with you, and I know how to protect her. That chest looks interesting. I ought to look into this thievery business for Mr. Haggerty once night falls. Now that it's night, I ought to look into this thievery business for Mr. Haggerty. A pile of gold. I must be on the right track. It looks as if the thief took more than they could carry. More gold. I must be getting closer. A niffler. It wasn't Catherine Haggerty after all. That must be the Haggerty family heirloom. I found your heirloom, and I'll give it to you. For a price. I take it you're a fan. I know that feeling. Some things are simply out of our control. If you were that good, I can't believe a bit of bad luck could end your entire Quidditch career. What is Felix Felicis? A potion. Liquid luck. That's illegal, isn't it? What happened to Asuka? Did she burn her broom as well? You didn't report her. Tell them what she'd done. Thank you, Professor. I shall remember what you've told me. It was nothing at all, Adelaide. I'm just glad your uncle's safe. Any other pertinent details about those owls? Hello, do you have anything for sale? Something to consider. Thank you for your help, Mr. Babcock. Just exploring the countryside a bit. Needed a little rest from classes. Can't stay in the castle all the time. Hello? Do you have anything for sale? Pleasure to meet you, Miss Treadwell. Are you related to Nora Treadwell? Merlin was such a fascinating person. Your wife's work sounds intriguing. I don't know much about Merlin, if I'm honest, but your wife's work sounds intriguing. I actually met her, and she introduced me to her work. I'm involved in it now as well. Impressive. I'd like to meet her one day. Hello. Do you have anything for sale? Thank you, Mr. Prakash. Best of luck to you and your father. Is that right? How long have you been in business? Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry about your father. Congratulations on your many years of success, to you and your father. He wanted me to have a safe place to practice some spells, to try and catch up to the other fifth years. He didn't think you'd mind. Sebastian simply wanted me to have a safe place to practice some spells, to try and catch up to the other fifth years. He didn't think you'd mind. Don't tell me he's still going on about... What was it? A scriptorium? Wait, you've never been inside? I'm sorry about your aunt. Don't you want to find out what happened to her? That is a bit unnerving. I suppose even if it might lead to answers about what happened to your aunt, it does pose a risk. Very well. You've convinced me. Very well. I'll see what I can do. You mentioned that more and more customers are trying to stay out of sight. Why? I wonder if I need to place lanterns to open these doors. You should keep it. She doesn't deserve to have it. Oh, I had no idea it was hers. Go on. Why do you need me to report to you on this broom flight? We have some spectators. These trials must be popular. Why would anyone doubt your ability to upgrade brooms? What more can you tell me about the next course? So you did create them. I am, at the request of Mr. Moon. I received your owl. On your stationery. Sounds as if Mr. Moon deserved what he got. But perhaps it's time you both moved on. The statues are a form of bullying. You're no better than him. Perhaps it's time you both moved on. And you think this relic might be able to save Anne? What a horrible story. I didn't, I promise. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. How did you... I'm certain I don't know what... He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form. And that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black. Of course. Time? For what? I need to find a way into the gatehouse to open the gate for Natty. This box should help me reach the ledge. How can I raise the box? Perhaps I should use Levioso to lift the box and then climb on top of it. I wouldn't keep your Rococo. He needs to be home with you. Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him. I may have more luck higher up in the keep. A ladder. That's what I need. Hello, Mr. Moon. I'm sorry to say I haven't found any more. I'll keep an eye out for more demiguise statues and see if I can bring you more moons. Where should I look for more demiguise statues and moons? I actually have some moons for you. I'm sorry to say that I haven't found any more of those statues. I'll keep an eye out for more demiguise statues and see if I can bring you more moons. Where should I look for more demiguise statues and moons? What if the choice wasn't yours? You wouldn't be to blame for what happens. Now that you say it out loud, it sounds absurd. But I have another idea. I'm willing to learn to cast it, Ominous. It may be the only way, but I won't do it unless you agree. I know how to cast it, Sebastian taught me, but I won't do it unless you agree. I'm suggesting we negotiate. Sebastian is never going to give up trying to cure Anne. If you try and stop him now, he'll never forgive you. Sebastian is never going to give up trying to cure Anne. If you try and stop him now, he'll never forgive you. I'm right behind you, Professor. We need help. The sooner the better. In theory. What are you talking about? Mr. Sallow, stop! It was brave, Sebastian. You clearly care more about Anne than your uncle ever did. You did. I would have done the same, if I knew how. No time like the present. Thank you, Sebastian. But perhaps now is not the time. I know. I don't know what to do, Sebastian. Don't worry, Sebastian. I shall speak with Ominous. He clearly regrets everything. He's not going to do anything like this again. But we also need to think about Anne. She's lost her health, now she's lost her uncle. Do you really want to take her brother away from her too? Thank you, Ominous. You're a good friend. We've tried to justify his actions every step of the way, but this has gone too far. It has to stop. Of course. What do you think, Professor? Thank you, Professor. For everything. What is it, Professor? How on earth did you discover that Booba Tuber pus clears one's skin? That's incredibly nice of you. Saccharissa, What did you ask me to do again? What precisely are booba-tubers? I gave the hawk lumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Sirona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more hawk lumps while I'm there. Best of luck with your potions, Mr. Pippin. What was it you needed my help with, Samantha? I need to find the tomb near Brockborough and place Samantha's family crest on a sarcophagus there. Samantha will be glad to hear that the crest has been returned. I certainly hope it reverses the curse. Hello, Imelda. So, another trial? Strong competition. Could that have been a compliment, Imelda? I should try and rescue Garnoth's mooncalf. Sounds as if I'd need to head north to find those poachers. We'll see, won't we? Till next time. You said your reputation for talent put some people out. Like whom? I suppose I know what happened to Mary Portman now. She was breeding the spiders. That's actually thank you? This must be Arranshire. I'd best keep an eye out for spiders. A ladder. I'm not sure I want to know where this leads. That's the last of the spider sacks. I hope that's the last spider. Well, that's the end of that. Here we are. Mr. Weeks wasn't wrong about the mountain views. I'm ready. Thank you, Imelda. I think I should have a rest. Try again later. Imelda Raves. Are you giving the competition advice? It's been fun competing against your records, Imelda. Will you keep running these courses? Do you get your competitiveness from your family? I take it you want to play for a team, but which one? And which position? This mine must have been abandoned by goblins ages ago. I shall look forward to speaking again. What will you do after the final upgrade is complete? Perhaps a spell would help open this door. I might need something that can push a bit harder to open this up. Did you say Bragbor? I think I know that name. Oh, of course. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock. I choose Cladwell and Brewster. I choose Vestas and Venom. I choose Stitches and Drafts. Thank you. I shall work on collecting items for the shop's inventory. Oh, and Penny? We'll be closing the shop by 9 o'clock every night. Can't help but admire Mr. Weeks' enthusiasm. This book contains potion recipes. I have the Niffler. Now to look for the Haggerty family heirloom. I wonder how Mr. Haggerty will take this news. His sister wasn't the thief and his heirloom's coming home. Imelda certainly is strong competition. That went rather well. I'm getting a knack for these time trials. Mr. Weeks and I do make a good team. The course looks rather deserted. I hope everything's all right. Perhaps I could test out my new upgrade on the way. Wasn't hoping for that. Not to worry, that was quite something. Good for Mr. Weeks. Made it! Brilliant flying, if I do say so myself. That wasn't too difficult. This is going well. I can do better. No success there. Blast! I'm getting the hang of this. Made it. I'd say that was acceptable. Brilliant. Close, but not close enough. Missed it. That wasn't planned. Blast! This is rather fun. Success! Did it. Made it. Could have done better. Missed one. This'll take some getting used to. I'm not worried, Mr. Weeks. I'll see if I can find Imelda. But with the speeds it now reaches, I can feel the wind catching beneath the seat a bit, preventing it from reaching its full potential. I will say that it tended to drift a bit to the left on certain turns. Heard a slight swoosh when I dipped. Sebastian, I can't imagine what you and Anne are going through. Perhaps you'll hear from her soon. The rumors are true, and I did. But it's not that. Just before Rookwood attacked, he uttered something familiar. The same words Anne heard before she was cursed. Children should be seen and not heard. It wasn't one of Ranrock's loyalists who cursed Anne. It was Rookwood. It was Rookwood all along. Ominous, there's something I need to tell you. It's to do with Victor Rookwood. The rumor's true, and I did. But it's not that. Just before Rookwood attacked, he uttered something familiar. It wasn't one of Ranrock's loyalists who cursed Anne. It was Victor Rookwood. It was Rookwood all along. Sebastian, I received your owl. What's happened? Ominous, I received your owl. What's happened with Sebastian?
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
Once Rookwood allied with Ranrock, Isadora's estate became of interest to them both. That's why Rookwood was there the night Anne was cursed. He was working with Ranrock. When he saw your sister, well, he didn't want anyone to know. The same words Anne heard before she was cursed. Children should be seen and not heard. I suppose that makes sense. It does take a while to adjust to being here. I'm sorry the other students weren't more friendly. Was it Sirona Ryan? How fortunate. Sirona has been a good friend to me as well. In fact, I retrieved a box of letters from Mrs. Sprottle for her. You see, since Feldcroft was of interest to Ranrock, it became of interest to Rookwood as well. That's why Rookwood was there the night Anne was cursed. He was working with Ranrock. When he saw Anne, well, He didn't want anyone to know that Anne may just need some time. Surely one day she'll be able to forgive you. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad to know that you can at least try to move on now. Sebastian, I'm afraid Anne may never be able to forgive you. But at least now you have a chance to change your path. Well, it wasn't easy. But I believe in you, Sebastian. I've had a sense about you since that first day in Defense Against the Dark Arts. I never thought things would end this way. I hope we did the right thing. Sebastian brought all of this on himself. We tried and tried to stop him. Were you able to tell Sebastian about Rookwood cursing Anne? I'm glad to hear it. She deserves peace. Sebastian, there's something you should know. It's to do with Victor Rookwood. Professor, do you have a moment? Professor, I wondered, did you attend Hogwarts? Did you attend Hogwarts? Actually, perhaps another time. You have. Thank you for speaking with me, Professor. Time itself. I never would have imagined such a thing. I was curious as to how Hogwarts has changed over the years. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds horrible and unspeakable. What does... I hadn't realized that you and Professor Black were, students here together. Professor, could you spare a moment? Yes, Professor. Professor, what can you tell me about your work at the Ministry? Professor, what can you tell me about your work at the Ministry? I'm sorry, it's nothing, Professor. If I may, Professor, I'm also happy that you're here at Hogwarts now. Yes, Professor. You do seem to have come to terms with things rather well. Have you made peace with the time you've lost? Professor, do you have a moment? Professor, I wondered if I could ask how you came to Hogwarts. Apologies, Professor, I have nothing to ask. Professor Weasley was a curse breaker for the Ministry. Then you enjoy being a flying instructor. Even after all that happened, wasn't it difficult to leave your home? I suppose I can understand wanting to move on from all that you went through with the Tengu. What do we have here? Do you mind sharing more about your brooms? Professor, do you have a moment? I see. Natty told me that you and she moved here from Uganda, where she had attended Wagadu. Professor, how did you come to teach divination? I was wondering how you decided to teach divination. Of course, Professor. I'm sorry, it seems now isn't the best time after all. I find it truly intriguing, even if I don't fully understand it. I'm not sure I believe that one can really see the future. Professor, may I have a moment of your time? Professor, could you tell me how you and Natty ended up at Hogwarts? Professor, could you tell me how you and Natty ended up at Hogwarts? Apologies, Professor. Perhaps another time. Professor Weasley seems quite knowledgeable, so I'm not surprised to hear that she'd do that sort of thing. Natty has spoken of your move. She was quite kind to me my first day here. In charms. You knew Professor Weasley when you were in Uganda. I see. I confess that I'm surprised to hear Professor Weasley would ever do that sort of thing. Professor, might I have a moment? Professor, what inspired your interest in magical beasts? I was wondering, what inspired your interest in magical beasts? Of course, Professor. When did your path become clear? I haven't decided quite yet, but I do find magical beasts fascinating. Truthfully, I'm not, but I am interested to know why you chose this path for yourself. Apologies, Professor. Perhaps later. I shall remember that, Professor. Thank you. What did you do with them? What type of beast is an Occamy? That sounds incredible. Seems quite a challenge, finding an Occamy in the mountains. Professor, do you have a moment? Professor, may I ask what interested you about astronomy? May I ask what attracted you to astronomy? Apologies, Professor. Perhaps later. Your poor sister. What an unfortunate situation for your family. Oh, not at all, Professor. I find it intriguing and wanted to know more about your work. Thank you for telling me about your sister, Professor. Apologies, Professor. I suppose I do wonder about its relevance to us. It sounds as if she's a lovely person, and accomplished. I'm not sure I follow, Professor. Why was that? I need to look for a unicorn with a beautifully bright coat. It sounds as if she's in trouble. That unicorn has an exceptionally bright coat. It must be Hazel. Come on, Hazel. I can take Hazel back to a vivarium now. I should let Madame Bugbrook know she's safe. Professor... remember anything about the letters you put in the box. I should dismount here. It seems to have worked. I'm looking forward to meeting my professors and learning all I can at Hogwarts. I'm looking forward to exploring Hogwarts and the world beyond the castle and grounds. A sense of adventure? I like to think that I'm not afraid of anything. A desire to learn? I do enjoy a good puzzle, and I believe I have a ready mind. A sense of loyalty? I believe myself to be a true friend. I know I value that trait in others. Is it ambition? I may seem single-minded, but it is important to go after what you want from life. Amit, could I ask you something? Where precisely is the table we're looking for? Why are you so fascinated with stars? Actually, that's all I wanted to know. Only 2 lanterns, but 3 spots. Perhaps I should move them around to open the door and build the platform. Perhaps I should pull the lantern into this room to cause the room to rotate again. Is that how he found this place? Why can I see the weapon, but not the statue that's wielding it? Perhaps I need to be on the same side of the arch as the statue to see him. Hard to say from up here. Let's get a better lay of the land. Are those dragons? Highwing! Go! Faster, Highwing! Away, Highwing! Away! Let's go! Come on, Highwing! Good girl, Highwing! You're a loyal girl, Highwing! Faster! Time to go a little quicker! You certainly are a magnificent beast. Glad I have you here. Faster! What say we pick up the pace a bit? Here we go! Slow down now. There we go. No need to race now, my friend. Time for a jaunt, I'd say. How about some sightseeing? There you are. Highwing! We make a grand pair, Highwing. There's a friendly face. No need to be difficult. I mean you no harm. Oh, no, you don't. Now, I'm only trying to help. Do cooperate, won't you? That wasn't so difficult. If only Professor Fig could have seen that. Shame I didn't have an audience for that one. That solves that. That wasn't too hard. Professor Howin will never believe this. I'll look after you. Settle yourself. I mean you no harm. Everything's all right now. There. I'm not going to hurt you. The beasts are safer now. The beasts around here can sleep a bit easier now. Your poaching days are over. It's shameful what you've done to helpless beasts. One less poacher in the wizarding world. You only have Ranrock to blame. Ranrock has fooled you all. To your demise. Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Too late for you to learn the error of your ways. You've one less follower, Ranrock. 8 legs is simply too many. Ugh, shame you're so foul. Not my fault you're a deadly great spider. Cursed fiends. There's a victory that came none too soon. Ugh. Rest easy, my large friend. One less foul hulking brute. Should think they felt that in London. That was a close one. Now here's a welcoming sight. I hope I look this good when I'm 900 years old. And the whole world awaits. Where to next? I'll be back here soon enough. Who'd think an enormous castle could feel like home? Back to Hogwarts. Wonder if they've missed me. Never thought I'd feel so comforted to see this place. This place stinks of Ranrock and his cronies. There could be goblin loyalists in here. Wonder if Ranrock and his crew are in there. Could be some of Ranrock's loyalists in there. Best be careful. This mine could be hiding a secret. Ranrock and his loyalists. Mine now, demiguise. What do we have here? A demiguise. Here's one of those tables Professor Shah mentioned. Knowing our meat, he's likely studied here. An astronomy table. It should prove useful once the sun's down. Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark. Perhaps not the best place to be caught alone. This looks like trouble. Goodness. Not a party to attend by myself. I don't like the looks of that encampment. Trouble's brewing. And I'm without my friends. Not the best place for an unaccompanied student. Glad I was never locked up here. What went on here, I wonder? Stone walls do a prison make. Sometimes. Now here's a sad-looking place. This castle's hiding all sorts of secrets. There's no telling what lies in wait for me in there. Wonder if I'm safe to explore in there. Mysterious and a bit unsettling. What to do? Looks rather dark in there. Never stopped me before. Who lived here, I wonder? Abandoned long ago, no doubt. This place has seen better days. A castle. Must have been quite stately in its time. These rocks have seen better days. Could it be? A Merlin trial. I know a Merlin trial when I see one. Oh, here's a pleasant surprise. Let's see what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin. I know what that means. Merlin trial. What do you have in store for me this time? Seems a pleasant enough little place. Wonder who lives here. Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this. It's like a place right out of a storybook. Seems I'm ill prepared. Out of Wiggenweld potions. Never good to be caught with no Wiggenweld potion. Empty. Professor Sharp will never let me live this down. Nothing to identify. For now, at least. This will be more useful when I have something to identify. I don't have anything for this at the moment. This looks intriguing. I should investigate. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful. Nobody'll believe I defeated an Ashwinder by myself. And no one to share in my victory. Wait till Sebastian hears about this. An Ashwinder. I did it. And an ashwinder, no less. Shame nobody saw that. Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade, here I come. Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade? Merlin himself would be proud. These Merlin trials won't get the best of me. That's that. Settled. Not so tricky after all, Merlin. Not quite ready yet. Seems I'll need to wait. Too soon for that, it seems. I need to wait. Hopefully not much longer. That's all for now. Don't go too far. I'll see you again soon enough, I'm sure. Mind yourself while I'm gone. You can have a rest now. Now to see things from above for a bit. This'll be a welcome change. Nothing like a broom to feel free. Down to earth again. That's all the flying for now. And to think Muggles only use these for sweeping. No flying here, I see. Wait till the birds hear about the flying ban. No use trying to fly here. Not the best idea to fly around here. Time to change course. I'll need to dismount if I keep going that way. No flying allowed here. This is no place for flying. Seems I can't fly here. Wonder whose decision that was. What could this be? Here's an odd find. What's this? Whatever this is, it may prove useful. This might be something to keep. I know a den of beasts when I smell one. Here's hoping the residents aren't too ferocious. Hopefully they've had a good meal. My very own room of requirement. What do I require this time, oh wondrous space? Who says wishes don't come true? The most magical place in all of Hogwarts. Time to see what new secrets await. What a wonderful place. Simply marvellous. Who could wish to see anything more incredible? I've run out of plants. Curses. Not a single plant to my name. It would have been nice to have some plants on hand, but I have nothing. Here's a lost page. My field guide's going to be glad to see this. Another page. The field guide's getting a bit more complete. One page at a time. I know what this is. A page for my field guide. And one for you, Professor Weasley. I'll put you back where you belong. In my field guide. Another page for my field guide. Brilliant. That's no ordinary sheet of paper. Here's a page that's come out of my field guide. You'll be back in my field guide in no time. One more page for my field guide. Very good. You're not lost any more, little page. Into my field guide with you. I know just where to put you. In my field guide. It's not a complete guide without you. My collection of field guide pages is coming along. A page. To my field guide. I found another page for my field guide. A flying key! Is that one of those keys? I see you, little flying key. Excellent. Shan't mention this to the prefects. That house chest will be open in no time. I know where this goes. The house chest. Ruins. What mysteries lie beyond your walls, I wonder? How old must those ruins be? Whoever built you didn't account for weather. I suppose that's off limits. I'd better not let Madame Scribner see me trying to get in here. I still have the key. The key will help me get back in here. Penny, please stop holding your breath. Tell me what's going on. But how can you be forbidden from telling me what's going on? I purchased the shop, and according to the house elf that came with the shop, she's done this sort of thing before. Repeatedly. Penny, I have what I hope will be good news. Officer Singer confirmed that ownership of the shop has now transferred to me. I enjoyed that. Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time? It seems that a lot of beasts have been more aggressive than usual lately. They can't see me at all. I can get closer to them. That's the way forward. That's where I need to go. But I need to find a way past them. Glad I could be of help, and I look forward to visiting your shop the next time I'm in Arranshire. I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? Mr. Thistlewood. What was it you needed my help with? Crates of cabbages? What do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. Very well. I shall let you know if I find anything. I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. What services do you offer? I should be going now. Thank you. I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? What do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? Pardon me, Miss Coffee. Do you have a moment? Did that really just happen? Hello, madam. Is everything all right? Hidden herbology corridor. Sounds intriguing. That seems to have done the trick. This castle will never cease to surprise me. Hazel must be here somewhere. Perhaps the colours of those shielded orbs indicate which spells I should use to destroy them. Come on! We're getting closer, Professor. That way. Professor Weasley. He destroyed so many lives and wouldn't have stopped. I'm glad I was able to put an end to him. He would have killed me once he found the repository, if not before. I had no choice. Thank you for saying so, Professor. I'm ready for what's next. Mr. Abe, I found your wand.
Not to worry, Poppy. If I ever meet your gran, I shall not speak a word of this.
That's it. There we go. Sorry, never mind. I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you. I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade. It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class. That was quite something. A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about. Assignment's all finished. Got it. Got it. Yes. Yes. Excellent. Brilliant. Brilliant. What's going on here? I'm ready. Go! Away! Let's go! A phoenix nest. I wonder if it belongs to the phoenix Natty mentioned, the one the poacher pack are after. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something. Must we? Seems a lot of trouble to go to for a creature we've already rescued. That's a good idea. We need to see this through. That's right. Hello again, Mr. Thistlewood. Got it. Yes. Brilliant. Excellent.